Chapter 51:22. Yunyu was shocked. She did not expect Lin Xian to want to fight the Dragon Prince to the death. It seemed that Lin Xian's ambition was far beyond her imagination. She knew that she could not persuade him. She could only tell him to be careful. In the 15th Elder's mansion, a group of experts were waiting there. They had set up a trap. Someone frowned and said, "Do you think that kid will come? I think he might not come. After all, he is not a fool. He has 3 Dharma body avatar. He must know that we will set up a trap on the 4th Dharma body avatar. He will not walk into the trap again." The others nodded. That was true. That was indeed the case. If it were anyone else, they wouldn't take such a risk. The 8th Elder gritted his teeth. Damn it, they were about to give up. Just then, a stream of light flashed from afar. Then, a sword light fell from the sky and slashed the array. The entire array shook violently. The majestic palaces in the mansion were shattered into pieces. What happened? Countless people in the palace were shocked. Some people were cut into blood mist. Some people rushed to the sky and roared. The faces of the 8th Elder and the other experts who had rushed over changed. And then they were overjoyed. He's here. That brat is here. What? The 15th Elder and the others were stunned. Lin Xian really dared to come. This was simply too audacious. They looked up to the sky to see what the other party looked like. In the next moment, they saw a man descending from the sky. This man was extraordinary. Sword chi filled the sky as if he was a sword god. He stood in the void and stomped his feet. The entire 15th Elder's mansion shook violently. The endless void shattered. The people below vomited blood. So strong. Those who were injured were in despair. What kind of aura was this? It felt like a young emperor. The 15th Elder and the others were shocked. A young supreme emperor. The 8th Elder gritted his teeth. Damn you, it's really you. He would not forget that Lin Xian was the one who severely injured him. Lin Xian looked down and said coldly, "It was indeed a trap. But so what? Kneel on the ground and wait for me to deal with you. I can give you a quick death." Lin Xian looked down like a god from the heavens. What an arrogant brat! The 8th Elder humphed coldly. This time, we have 10 times more people than before. You will die without a doubt. The 15th Elder also shouted angrily, "8th brother, why are you wasting time with him? Just attack. Someone, activate the formation." Formations flickered between heaven and earth. 36 killing formations were activated, covering the sky and covering the earth as they enveloped Lin Xian. Outside the mansion, the Crimson Dragon, Toad, and Yunyu looked at this scene. Lin Xian knew that this battle would be extremely dangerous, so he didn't let these people follow him. Yunyu was shocked. Lin Gongzi wouldn't be in danger, right? The Crimson Dragon laughed. Don't worry, he has a lot of trump cards. They weren't very worried. Instead, they were preparing to collect the spoils of war when the time came. The 36 killing arrays in front of him exploded, and terrifying light beams swept across the 9 heavens. The terrifying aura caused the world to collapse. Let's see how you die this time. Some people snorted coldly. Inside the formation, Lin Xian's body was violently impacted. He roared angrily, and the 9 yang divine body shone brightly. 9 suns flew out, and the aura that erupted illuminated the world. Those suns turned into terrifying flames that swept in all directions. The surrounding killing arrays were ignited and quickly burned into ashes. Then Lin Xian stretched out a palm and grabbed towards the sky. With a palm, he tore an array into pieces. At the same time, a terrifying sword aura flickered on his body, piercing through the 9 heavens. The surrounding formations continued to shatter, and the smiles on the faces of the others also disappeared. How is this possible? He's so powerful, especially the people near the 15th Elder. They thought that this was a sure kill, but now they were doubtful. The killing arrays in the sky were shattering, and Lin Xian walked out like a sword god. The sword aura on his body swept in all directions. The surrounding people were shocked. Damn it! The 15th elder was shocked. He shouted angrily, "Kill him!" The people that the 8th elder brought with him also rushed over and quickly attacked. In an instant, divine abilities that blotted out the sky and covered the earth were shot out. Some of the terrifying auras were like holy spirits. Some of them were as terrifying as hell. "Kill!" Lin Xian also shouted angrily. A Tai Chi diagram appeared in front of him and kept spinning. The yin-yang sword flew out, and a terrifying aura swept through the 9 heavens. The powerhouses in front were instantly pierced, and some were split in half. The others were also terrified. Damn it, the power of yin and yang. He actually knew this kind of power. The people of the Twin of Destiny clan went crazy. This kind of power was extremely similar to their good and evil twins. Moreover, the other party's sword aura was even more terrifying. It was invincible, causing them to feel a huge injury. In an instant, many people in the 15th Elder's mansion died. The 15th Elder's eyes were red. Those below the Supreme Sage realm retreat. Those above the Supreme Sage realm gathered together. He realized that the Saint Kings were useless in front of the other party. Only those above the Supreme Sage realm working together would have a chance. Those below the Supreme Sage realm quickly retreated, wanting to leave this battlefield. Lin Xian snorted coldly. "Don't you think it's too late to leave now?" He waved his hand, and a sword aura soared into the sky. At the same time, he shouted angrily, "Ruzalong, seal this place for me." Outside, the Crimson Dragon heard this voice and said, "Don't worry, leave it to me." He formed a seal with his palm and used the ancient scripture. The spiritual veins in the 15th Elder's mansion were mobilized by him, forming a cage that enveloped heaven and earth. Those arrays were also constantly shattering. "What's going on? Our array has no power." "Impossible." The 15th Elder went crazy. They chose the mansion because there were so many spiritual veins underground. There were even dragon veins. How could there be no power? But now these powers were all used by the Crimson Dragon, forming a powerful seal that blocked everyone. Those who tried to escape were all blocked and sent flying back, their chi and blood surging. "Elder Zhang, this is bad. We can't escape at all. The entire mansion has been sealed." They were terrified. The 5th Elder's expression turned ugly. "All of you, retreat far away. Everyone else, kill." He soared into the sky and charged forward. The 8th Elder and the others also attacked. The 1st Elder's eyes erupted with a cold light. The good and evil twins appeared behind him. It was extremely terrifying. Lin Xian sneered. "Just because you lost to him." He threw out a punch. There was an extremely terrifying flame on it, causing the evil twin to burn. The 8th Elder roared angrily and shot out a divine light to block the 9 Suns' divine fire. However, it was instantly engulfed by the demonic energy released by Lin Xian. The 8th Elder screamed, his eyes filled with fear. "Come and help me." This time he didn't come alone. Suddenly, the 5 experts rushed over and charged towards Lin Xian together. The 8th Elder revealed a sinister smile. "Let's see how you'll die." Chapter 51-23. The 5 experts were extremely terrifying. When they joined forces, they could destroy everything. Lin Xian's demonic energy instantly shattered, and the 9 Suns' divine fire was also extinguished. "Go to hell." The 5 experts' expressions were cold. Lin Xian formed a seal with his palms, and the demon's summoning scripture in his body quickly circulated. A demonic shadow appeared behind him. The demonic shadow used the demon god's seal and blasted forward. The 5 experts were instantly enveloped, and the black seal was like a mountain that could destroy heaven and earth. One fell. The 5 experts' souls were destroyed, and they turned into a bloody mist. The 8th Elder was terrified. How was this possible? The 5 experts' strength was on par with his. When the 5 of them attacked, the power was more than 5 times his. Now they were killed in one blow. Could it be that this kid didn't use his full strength when fighting with him? He was completely stunned. Lin Xian snorted coldly. He waved his hand and slapped the eighth elder away. The eighth elder screamed. Half of his body was shattered. Lin Xian used the power of the divine body and didn't use the demonic shadow behind him. Otherwise, the other party's soul would have been destroyed by this blow. "Kill him for me," he shouted angrily again. In the distance, more figures came. Lin Xian grabbed the eighth elder and tore him into pieces with a wave of his arm. The eighth elder's soul screamed and wanted to escape. The good and evil children were guarding him. Lin Xian's eyes burst with golden light, and the terrifying reincarnation fire flew out. Suffer endless reincarnation for 10,000 years. 10,000 years in a glance. The eighth elder's soul screamed crazily. He entered an illusion. Lin Xian used the power of the great dragon sword soul to kill the good and evil children. "Damn it, how dare you!" The people in the distance roared crazily and charged over. Lin Xian snorted coldly. "Get lost." He used the demon god seal in his left hand and the six paths fist in his right. He attacked with both hands, and a terrifying aura blasted the people in front of him away. Those people vomited blood. Damn it, the 15th elder also rushed over with people. A great battle broke out in an instant. The sky was filled with laws and a terrifying divine aura. Terrifying demonic radiance, but it was useless. Lin Xian was too strong. He fought against everything by himself. In addition, he had many divine abilities, Great Emperor's divine abilities and Great Emperor's ancient scriptures. Shadowless heaven's net, appearing and disappearing unpredictably. Azura's sword art, instantly killing experts. The six Tao fists pressed forward courageously. The demon god seal was incomparably powerful. Every time it attacked, Lin Xian would be able to kill a powerhouse. In fact, with a single strike, more than a dozen experts were reduced to a bloody mist. The surrounding people went crazy. Was the other party already so powerful? Damn it! Using the sacred weapon of legacy. These people shouted furiously. The earth split open and a black sickle emerged. The members of the Fate clan quickly gathered. The good and evil phantoms in their bodies quickly appeared, forming an evil child and a grim reaper. The scythe in his hand was a saint artifact. That was a legendary saint artifact, and it was extremely powerful. He broke the six Tao fists with a single strike. Lin Xian was also knocked back, a crack appearing on his arm. In the sky, a scream was heard as the eighth elder's soul was shattered into pieces. Damn it! The powerhouses of the Fate clan shouted angrily. The eighth elder was dead. Avenge the eighth elder. They took out another saint artifact. It was also a legendary saint artifact that they brought from their clan's headquarters. The Scepter of Light, a walking stick that seemed to be made of gold with the purest radiance on it. It was enveloped by the good and evil child phantoms. A drop of it fell, purifying everything. Lin Xian felt as if these auras were going to make him ascend. He felt as if his body was about to split open. "Kid, how are you going to resist?" The 15th elder was furious. His eyes were filled with madness. To be able to force them to use two legendary saint artifacts. The other party should be proud. Legendary saint artifact? So what? Lin Xian sneered. He was injured, but he was still fearless. The immortality art was activated. A common life armor surrounded him and healed his injuries. With a wave of his right hand, the Hellfire Dragon's sword appeared. It carried a monstrous flame and terrifying sword chi. With a slash, he blocked the death sickle. A deafening sound was heard, and the surroundings were constantly destroyed. Damn it, this kid also has a legendary saint artifact? When they saw the Hellfire Dragon's sword, these people roared crazily. The 15th elder roared. It was fine. The holy scepter would purify his hell aura. The holy scepter pressed down and hit the Hellfire Dragon sword. The Hellfire Dragon sword roared crazily. Damn it, you want to bully me? Just you wait. Kid, hurry up and take out your other weapon. The Hellfire Dragon's sword. They knew that Lin Xian had more than one weapon. He even had the heaven-swallowing jar. When the time came, they would kill these bastards. Lin Xian snorted coldly. With a wave of his hand, he held the Great Destruction spear in his left hand. The demonic aura on it was monstrous. The ancient scripture of Earth was constantly activated. With a strike, it was like the finger of a demon god carrying a destructive aura. Boom, boom. The scepter of light was forced back. The experts of the Destiny clan below were also vomiting blood. Their arms were cracked. How was this possible? They looked at the Great Destruction spear in front of them in disbelief. The other party actually had another weapon, and it was also a legendary holy weapon. Damn it, the other party had 2 legendary holy weapons. What kind of foundation was this? Who exactly was this kid? This kid is not even a great sage. I don't believe that he can use 2 legendary holy weapons with his full strength. Kill him. We have the advantage of strength. The 15th elder roared crazily. The virtuous sun's phantom in the sky stood tall. The evil sun's phantom was extremely terrifying. They activated 2 legendary holy weapons and fought with it. Lin Xian held the holy weapon in his hand and opened and closed it. The laws surrounded his body. Demonic energy overflowed into the sky as if a demon god had descended. It was really too terrifying. Competing with him in strength, these people were purely courting death. He had the sword world, and he had devoured the power of so many sacrifices. It could be said that he was not afraid of anything now. The 2 legendary holy weapons exploded, causing the Scepter of Light and the Death Scythe to continuously retreat. The blood of the people below was boiling, and their faces were pale. At this point, they were all in despair. Another strike. The Scepter of Light was sent flying. Many of the people below turned into a bloody mist. Some are broken, some are seriously injured. On the other side, the Death Scythe also kept retreating. Everyone was crazy. Could they not do anything to the other party? Lin Xian walked over like a demon god. I'll send you on your way. The great spear of destruction bombarded. Dozens of experts were instantly pierced, and their souls were destroyed. The Hellfire Dragon sword slashed down. The invincible power, along with the powerful flames, caused dozens of people to disappear into thin air. No. The Destiny clan's elder roared crazily. One of the 15th elder's arms disappeared. Half of his body was shattered. At this moment, he said in horror. He quickly retreated into the ancestral hall. They were crazy. They could not compete with the other party in terms of foundation. Now, they could only seek the help of the Avatar Dharma idol. The Avatar Dharma idol was very strange. The ancestral hall was also specially built. Therefore, the Avatar Dharma idol could only stay inside. Otherwise, the Avatar Dharma idol would have come out and easily suppressed the other party. Chapter 5124. The remaining people all enter the pond. In the distance, the warriors below the Supreme Sage had already knelt on the ground when they saw this scene. What kind of scene was this? It was like the end of the world. They couldn't resist at all. Some of them were even hit by some laws and sword chi. Their souls were destroyed. Lin Xian waved his hand, and the terrifying 9 suns' divine fire turned into a sun and flew in all directions. As a result, all of the people before the great sage were burned to ash. Then he raised his head and looked at the ancestral hall in front of him. The corners of his mouth curled up in disdain as he walked forward. When he arrived at the entrance of the ancestral hall, he sneered. Do you think you can survive by hiding in there? You're too naive. Today, not only you, but this avatar will also die. When the people in the ancestral hall heard this, they were all shocked. Then their faces turned cold. They didn't say anything. After the other party came in, they would let him know what despair was. They would torture him to death. Lin Xian held the Great Destruction Spear in his hand and walked in with the Hellfire Dragon Sword. After entering, the door of the ancestral hall was instantly closed. The surroundings were dark. A group of terrifying roars could be heard. "Kid, you dare to kill so many of our experts. I'll let you know what despair is. Stupid thing, who do you think you are? You think you can compete with our ancestors' avatar? Go to hell. I'll break all the bones in your body and destroy your soul. I'll let you know that you regret coming to this world." The surrounding ferocious voices could be heard. Countless terrifying gazes flickered. Lin Xian snorted coldly, and his body bloomed with light. Like a huge sun, it illuminated the world. It wasn't his first time in this ancestral hall, so he wasn't afraid at all. "With just you?" Lin Xian looked around and sneered. "A group of ants. Damn it, the surrounding people were mad. Which one of them wasn't a top expert, an elder of the older generation. But at this moment, in front of the other party, they didn't resist at all. They gritted their teeth. "Kid, so what if you're a young supreme being? So what if you're a young emperor? Here, we're kings. Ancestor, please." They quickly bowed. A statue appeared in front of him. It was the statue of good and evil, and it was still as mysterious as ever. The virtuous sun statue also stared at Lin Xian. "You're the one who dares to cause trouble. Go to hell." A black palm blossomed with radiance, and the laws on it were frightening. Lin Xian coldly shouted and similarly punched out. The 6 Tao fists shattered the heavens and earth as they collided with each other. A sonorous sound rang out as Lin Xian took 3 steps back. The evil sun's terrifying palm was also repelled. Everyone was shocked. Was this guy able to contend against the Grand Elder's Dharma idol with just his physique? Even the good and evil statue was shocked. He had some ability. No wonder they could fight their way here. Lin Xian laughed. "You're just SO. I've already absorbed all 3 of your transcendence forms. You're no exception. Just give up." His eyes were filled with confidence. "Damn it," the doppelganger shouted angrily. He also knew about this matter. Was it this brat in front of him? He roared angrily and gave me the 2 inherited saint weapons. He held the scepter of light and the scythe of death in his hand. He said, "Here, I can restore these 2 saint weapons with all my might and let them display their true strength. Can you resist it?" The surrounding people also laughed. "Ha ha ha, stupid brat. Our Grand Elder's Dharma idol is much stronger than ours. Now, I'll let you see what a true inherited saint weapon is." The doppelganger was also angry. He activated the inherited saint weapon with all his might. He was powerful to begin with, and this ancestral hall contained the power obtained from endless sacrifices. At this moment, he unleashed endless power. Those laws were like seawater that blotted out the sky and covered the earth. At this moment, the surrounding 15th Elder and the other members of the Twin of Destiny clan also knelt on the ground. They couldn't withstand this power at all. Although their scalps were numb, they were happy in their hearts. Great, such power could definitely kill the other party. That brat was dead for sure. It was over. The doppelganger's arm fell. The scepter of light and the scythe of death erupted together, engulfing Lin Xian. In front of him, a black hole was formed, as if the world was being split apart. It was over. Everyone else also raised their heads. Their eyes were filled with excitement, as expected of the Grand Elder. Just the doppelganger's Dharma idol could easily kill a young supreme. So what if he was a genius? Even if he was a crown prince, he would still be in danger of dying before he fully matured. This young man was too arrogant. He deserved to die this time. Cold laughter rang out one after another, and the doppelganger's Dharma idol also retracted his hand. "How dare you challenge me? I'll kill you without mercy." "Is that so? You're just SO. You're still far from being able to kill me." Amidst the laughter, a voice rang out. The surrounding people were stunned after hearing it. How could it be? They couldn't believe their ears. Who was speaking? The doppelganger's Dharma idol also roared. You're really stupid. Can't you recognize my voice? Lin Xian sneered. It's you. You're not dead? That's impossible. 15th Elder and the others were going crazy. The doppelganger's eyes also burst out with a terrifying light. Its black and white eyes pierced through the black hole in front of it, shattering the void. They saw a black vortex that kept spinning. A figure walked out of the vortex. It was Lin Xian. You're really not dead. The doppelganger's Dharma idol also roared angrily. Was that the full-strength attack of the legendary sacred weapon just now? How could the other party dodge it? Lin Xian snorted coldly. He stretched out his hand, and there was a black jar in his palm. So what if you're a legendary sacred weapon? I've already said that you won't be able to withstand a single blow from me. Seeing the black jar, the surrounding people were terrified again. The aura coming from it was too terrifying, and their bodies were on the verge of shattering. Their souls were about to be extinguished. Even the light on the two legendary sacred weapons dimmed. They seemed to be trembling. Damn it! The doppelganger's Dharma idol roared angrily. Could it be an extreme weapon? He sensed a trace of fear from it. Lin Xian's lips curled up. That's right, you're right. It's an extreme weapon. What? Everyone went crazy. Their eyes widened in disbelief. The other party actually had an extreme weapon? One had to know that this was the weapon of a Dharch. Only the Dharch race had it. Other than that, it was rare to hear of a Thearcha's weapon. But now, the other party actually had an extreme weapon in his hand. Was he really a disciple? Damn it, the doppelganger's Dharma idol also roared angrily. With a roar, the power of the surrounding priests quickly burned. It seemed that he was going to go all out. So what if you have an extreme weapon? You can't unleash its true power. If you die, this extreme weapon will be mine. He was really too happy. With his strength, if he could obtain this extreme weapon, then from then on, who in the world would be a match for him? Chapter 5125. Ignorant Ants. Lin Xian snorted coldly. The black vortex became more and more terrifying, as if it could swallow the heavens and the earth. The Dharma idol doppelganger's expression changed when it sensed the devouring power. He knew that the extreme weapon was very terrifying, so he couldn't be careless. He had to deal with it with all his might. Thinking of this, he roared and formed a seal with his palms. Suddenly, the bodies of the Destiny clan's powerhouses that came in split open. Their bloodlines quickly burned and rushed out of their bodies. The good and evil phantoms. They floated between heaven and earth. No, Ancestor, you can't treat us like this. These powerhouses roared crazily. They felt despair. They knew that this was the Ancestor absorbing their power, and they might be destroyed in body and soul. You live to provide me with power. Now that I'm in danger, you should give me your power. The Avatar shouted coldly. The great sages that came in were all burned and turned into a bloody mist. Between heaven and earth, one after another, the good and evil phantoms kept dancing. But these people had long ceased to exist. When they were dying, they were still filled with despair. This was the Ancestor that they had worshipped for their entire lives. He actually harvested their lives just like that. With this power, the Avatar's strength became even stronger. He charged towards the devouring vortex from all directions. Kid, die for me! With an angry roar, a large area of the void in front of him shattered. This attack was indeed powerful to the extreme. Lin Xian snorted coldly and used the devouring vortex to the extreme. The heaven-swallowing jar rushed forward. In the next moment, the entire world was devoured. When he appeared again, the Avatar roared and rushed into the sky. However, he found that the surrounding scene had changed greatly. It was no longer his ancestors' ancestral hall. Instead, it had become another place. The primordial world was strange. Where was this? Did you think that you could suppress me in another place? Unfortunately, he was also suppressed in the end. When the Hellfire Dragon flew out, Lin Xian used the power of the Sword World and summoned the great dragon's sword soul. The Avatar's face was filled with despair. He wanted to escape, but it was too late. In the end, his soul was also destroyed. The remaining sacrificial power was absorbed by Sword World. The power of good and evil was once again absorbed by Lin Xian using the Taiji diagram. He could feel that the power in his body had reached a pinnacle. Was he about to break through? Lin Xian took a deep breath. He suppressed the power of the breakthrough and quickly left. The 15th Elder's residence outside had long been destroyed. Lin Xian summoned the Crimson Dragon and ordered them to clean up the battlefield as quickly as possible. Then he would bring him away. He was about to break through. Really? The Dark Dragon was overjoyed when he heard this. There wasn't much time left until the coronation ceremony. Lin Xian was about to break through and become the champion of the championship. Even among those princes, this was considered extremely fast. He might even be the first to break through. In this way, his strength would surpass the other princes. Then he would be able to make a move on the Dragon Prince. The Crimson Dragon gritted his teeth. He would never forget that the outstanding genius of Long Hai, Long Guang, had died in the hands of the other party. This hatred must be avenged. He collected all the storage rings of these people. Yunhua was also frantically collecting other resources. Lin Xian said, "Let's go." They soared into the sky and quickly disappeared. The Fate Clan. Everyone was waiting for the ancestral hall. The good and evil statue roared crazily again. Damn it. At this moment, he was really angry. All 4 of his clones had been destroyed. This was something that he couldn't tolerate, and it was also something that he couldn't believe. When the Fate Clan found out about this, they were also incomparably shocked. How was this possible? Those elders roared crazily. The Fate Clan leader was also stunned. The people they sent out this time could definitely sweep through everything. They even brought 2 legendary sacred weapons. Even if the mansion was destroyed, the last Avatar Dharma idol would definitely not be destroyed. But now, things were beyond their expectations. So many powerhouses had all fallen. When they saw the soul jade tablets shatter, they also went crazy. No one came back alive. Countless elders, powerhouses, geniuses, and the 4 clones. All of them had fallen. The entire Fate Clan was shocked. Who was it? Was it a crown prince who brought the peerless powerhouses of the great emperor's clan? I think it's possible that he used an extreme weapon. Voices of discussion could be heard one after another. In their opinion, this was the only way to do it. Otherwise, it was impossible for a young man to do this. This news couldn't be hidden at all. After all, many people had already paid attention to the destruction of the 4 great elders' residences. Then the news spread everywhere, and finally the entire Yuhing continent knew about it. They were incomparably shocked. The Fate Twins were a top clan of the ancients in the Yuhing continent. They were not weaker than the Tianpeng clan at all. In fact, in terms of vitality, they were even stronger than the Tianpeng clan, because they were existences that were almost immortal. As long as the good and evil twins weren't killed in an instant, they wouldn't perish. But now they were all dead. Countless elders had all fallen. Their corpses piled up like mountains, and a sea of blood gathered. It turned into hell, a scene of destruction. Heavens, who did it? Was it the Phoenix clan? Countless voices of discussion sounded. When the Phoenix clan heard the news, they immediately came out to clarify. It wasn't our Phoenix clan. They also didn't want to offend the Fate Twins for no reason. The Tianpeng clan also said that it wasn't the Tianpeng clan who did it. The other top families also voiced their opinions one after another. For a moment, everyone was shocked. Those who could have done it were all denied. Then who was it? Was it a strong dragon from another continent? But a strong dragon couldn't suppress a snake in its old haunts. What kind of iron plate did the Fate Twins kick? It couldn't be the Dragon Clan, right? I guess it might be the Kuinpeng clan. Kuinpeng Z cultivated the Yin Yang law, and his power was very similar to the Fate twins, so they had a reason to do it. Voices of discussion could be heard one after another. Everyone was guessing. Even the Phoenix clan and the Tianpeng clan were investigating the news. The Phoenix clan leader shook his head. It couldn't be Kuinpeng Z. If he wanted to do it, he wouldn't do it like this. An elder at the side also took a deep breath. That's right, if Kuinpeng Z wanted to do it, he would have done it to the Fate clan's headquarters. He would even be like the Dragon Prince, using the power of an extreme weapon to unleash a shocking attack. He would get what he wanted at all costs. This was the method of the Emperor clan. And now, the enemy had only destroyed 4 elder mansions and obtained 4 Dharma idols. They didn't do anything to the headquarters. This was completely different from the methods of the Emperor clan. Then who was it? They didn't know. Do you think it could be that kid? Suddenly, they thought of a person. A young man who had just left their Phoenix clan not long ago. Are you talking about that Lin Xian? Someone exclaimed. No way, no matter how strong he was, even if he was an emperor's son. So what? Could he have done all this by himself? Even if he could kill those elders, what about the avatar Dharma idols? As long as there was a glimmer of hope, it couldn't be destroyed. Even if it was suppressed, it couldn't die. How could he do it? Chapter 51:26. The people of the Fate clan investigated even more frantically. They had to know who the enemy was. Several emperor clans and princes were denied by them. Who was it? At this moment, an elder sent a message. Not long ago, Crown King Lin Wudi came. He fought with the top genius of the Tianpeng clan, Bailey Wuk. Victory! Moreover, he and Murong Qingcheng were Dao companions. He was once a guest of the Phoenix clan, but then he disappeared. There was no trace of him anymore. Are you saying that Lin Wudi was the one who did this? That's impossible. The people of the Fate clan didn't believe it. Nothing is impossible. I've investigated before and received news. Not only did Lin Wudi defeat Bailey Wuk, but he also injured the Dragon Prince on the day of the coronation. It was said that the Dragon Prince used the 10,000 dragons diagram, and Lin Wudi also had an extreme weapon. Therefore, it was possible that he did it. Moreover, Lin Wudi was under a lot of pressure. He urgently needed to break through to become a supreme sage, because his enemy was the Dragon Prince. Compared to the other princes, his foundation could be said to be the weakest. Without a great emperor clan to rely on, he had to obtain all the resources himself. Therefore, he attacked the Avatar Dharma idol to obtain resources. Damn it, was it really him? When the powerhouses of the Fate clan heard this analysis, they all gritted their teeth. The eyes of the Fate clan leader also burst out with intense light. If he had an extreme weapon, he could really do it. Damn it, go and investigate Lin Wudi's whereabouts. As long as he's in the Yuhun continent, we must find him and bring him here. I want to let him know the consequences of offending us. Everyone began to move. The others also began to guess. Was it Lin Wudi who did it? The Tianpeng clan's Bailey Wuk received all kinds of news. Was it really him? Was this guy already so terrifying? Patriarch Bailey said he should have borrowed half an extreme-grade weapon, the heaven-swallowing jar. This is beyond his own strength. We don't need to pay too much attention to it. Although we don't have an extreme weapon, our Tianpeng clan's sacred weapon is not weak either. Besides, he can't use its full power, so we still have a chance of winning. The Phoenix clan's princess, Feng Jiao, narrowed her eyes. The devouring heaven jar? That was interesting. Go and ask Sister Qingqing if her husband, Lin Wudi, did it. Murong Qingqing was shocked when he heard the news. She felt that it was very likely to be Lin Xian, but she shook her head at Feng Jiao's doubts. He expressed that he didn't know. The Fate ancestor snorted coldly and said, "Activate the Fate judgment." The Destiny clan's clan chief was astonished. Was the old ancestor going to use that kind of power? She was surprised. The patriarch snorted coldly. Yes, bring him back alive. I still want the heaven-swallowing jar. His eyes shone with a terrifying light. Now that he had an extreme-grade weapon, he could begin the next step of his plan. Yes, the Fate clan leader was about to ask the Adjudicator for help. This was a secret power of the Gemini of Destiny. These people had cultivated terrifying divine abilities. Normally, they would have a super strong foundation. These people would only be mobilized when the Fate clan was under great threat. They would represent fate and punish their enemies. That was why it was called the Judgment of Fate. Wait, the patriarch said in a deep voice. The Destiny clan leader spoke respectfully. Ancestor, what other matters do you have? The old ancestor said, if I remember correctly, your son is already 3,000 years old. Yes, the Destiny clan leader nodded obediently. Yunhai was already 3,000 years old, and he was only one step away from becoming a saint. Speaking of this, there was a hint of pride in his eyes. He was a son. He would inherit his position in the future and bring glory to the Fate clan. Let Yunhai come over. I will accept him as my personal disciple and pass on the twin soul to him. Is that true? The Destiny clan leader suddenly raised his head with a hint of excitement in his eyes. He knelt down and kowtowed respectfully. Thank you, Patriarch. It was an honor to be accepted as a disciple by the Patriarch. Even he wasn't qualified. And the twin soul was an extremely terrifying divine ability. This time, the Patriarch had personally established a certain connection, which was equivalent to forming an avatar, and it could be moved. The avatar's previous 4 avatars could only stay in the ancestral hall and couldn't take a single step out. This had a huge limitation. This was also the reason why they were destroyed, because there was no way to escape. But now, if the twin soul was implanted, then his son Yunhai's strength wouldn't be weaker than the avatar. His future achievements would be unparalleled. There was even hope for him to surpass the Saint realm and reach an even more incredible realm. Thinking of this, his eyes turned red. Patriarch, don't worry. I will call Yunhai over. The Patriarch slowly closed his eyes and began to wait patiently. He knew that Lin Wudi couldn't escape as long as he was still on Yuhun continent. He would have a chance to suppress him. After the Destiny clan leader came out, he gave the order and began to mobilize countless people. At the same time, he summoned the Grand Elder and asked him to activate the Destiny adjudication. The Grand Elder was shocked. Was he really going to use that power? The Destiny clan leader nodded and then gave a token to the Grand Elder. This is my clan chief's token. Take it and personally handle this matter. What about you, Patriarch? The Grand Elder was shocked. Other than the Patriarch, there were no more than 3 elders who knew about the power of the Destiny adjudication. But now the Patriarch didn't do it personally. The Destiny clan leader said that he had more important things to do and that he would leave this matter to the Grand Elder. The Grand Elder took a deep breath. The Patriarch was relieved. He took the Patriarch token and quickly flew into the depths of the clan. As for the Destiny clan leader, he flew in another direction. The Destiny clan was extremely powerful, and the land they occupied was too vast. It was boundless. There was a mountain range in it. There were 2 dragon veins. The dragon veins formed by the Yin-Yang dragon were abnormally terrifying. It could be said that it was a holy land for cultivation. There was a figure sitting cross-legged in the mountain range. This man's hair was half black and half white. He looked extremely strange. The aura on his body was also extremely terrifying. At this moment, he opened his eyes and pierced through heaven and earth. Who was it? He stood up and the sky split in half. A large crack appeared in the distance. It's me. The Destiny clan leader flew over from afar. Father, it's you. The man retracted his power and said in confusion. What happened? He was the son of the Patriarch, Yunhai, 3,000 years old. He was very close to becoming a saint. He had been cultivating in this holy land, so he didn't know what was happening outside. The Destiny clan leader told him what happened. Yunhai was furious after hearing it. You're saying that someone dared to attack the Destiny clan? And Yunyue dared to betray the clan. An extremely cold killing intent appeared in his eyes. Chapter 51:27. Yunyue was nothing to be afraid of. The most important thing was Lin Wuti. He was the crown prince, and his talent was no weaker than the crown prince. More importantly, he had half an extreme grade weapon, the devouring heaven jar. He was very difficult to deal with. Only by suppressing him could the danger be resolved. Father, do you want me to go? Yunhai said, no problem. Give me a sacred weapon, and I will suppress it. Although the other party was young and had half a devouring heaven jar, he was not afraid, because he was much older than the young man, and he was only one step away from the late stage of the Supreme Saint realm. Therefore, his strength was also very terrifying. With a sacred weapon, he could sweep through everything. The Destiny clan leader shook his head. Yunhai frowned. Father, don't you believe me? Hi, how can I not believe you? But don't be in a hurry to make a move. The Patriarch wants to see you. He wants to accept you as his personal disciple. Really? Yunhai's body trembled, and a flash of light appeared in his eyes. Father, is that really the case? Don't be fooled by his previous arrogance. When he heard this news, he was as excited as a child. That's right. I'm here to take you to see the Patriarch. Come with me. The two of them soared into the sky and turned into streams of light. On the other side, a huge canyon appeared on the endless land. The first elder waved the badge in his hand. The array around the canyon disappeared, and a passage appeared. He walked down until he reached the bottom of the canyon. Below him was a series of underground palaces, surrounded by countless flickering array formations. Who is it? Stop! A voice sounded. Lightning fell from the sky, blocking the Grand Elder's path. At the same time, four black figures appeared around him. Four black figures with extremely terrifying light. The Grand Elder stood there, his body cold. He felt a fatal threat. As long as he moved, these four people could tear him to pieces. He was shocked. As expected of the Judgment Clan, they were too terrifying. These people could control the fate of others. He stood there and said, I'm the Grand Elder. I'm here on the orders of the Patriarch. This is the Patriarch's token. As he spoke, he waved the token in his hand. The eyes of the four people around him flashed. Why didn't the Patriarch come? The Great Elder said that the Patriarch has something more important to discuss. This time, our Fate clan is in danger. The 4 Dharma idols have been destroyed. The Patriarch is furious and is about to activate you. The token is correct. Come in. The 4 figures slowly disappeared. The door to the underground palace slowly opened and the first elder walked in. He discovered that it was like heaven on earth, and there was a throne inside. There was a woman sitting on it. This woman wore a holy battle robe and held a heavenly book in her hand. There was a scepter in his right hand. She also had white wings on her back. Untainted by even a speck of dust, he looked like a deity. He sat on the throne. When the woman saw the first elder walking over, she raised her head and asked in a deep voice, "What is it?" The great elder recounted what had happened. The woman closed the heavenly book in her hand and stood up. An extremely cold radiance appeared in his eyes. Assemble. As soon as the order was given, many figures rushed out from the surrounding underground palace. They all came to the front of the main hall and stood there with cold expressions. The Patriarch had ordered that Lin Wuti be suppressed. With a wave of her hand, the wings on her back unfurled. She tore the world apart and soared into the sky. 100 powerhouses also followed. These people disappeared into the void like gods and demons. The first elder was shocked. 100 adjudicator powerhouses were now moving out. It was an invincible force. It seemed that a huge storm was about to set off in the Yuhun continent. Lin Wuti was definitely going to die this time. A day later, the mansion of the 15 elders was in ruins. There were many figures there, flickering. They were the sage martial artists of the Yuhun continent who came here to look for opportunities. After all, there were countless powerhouses here before. Perhaps there were storage rings and all kinds of treasures left behind. Even some of the broken weapons were endless treasures to them. So they came here to look for treasures. At this moment, a cold force appeared and sealed off the surroundings. In the sky, a pair of white wings covered the sky. A woman wearing golden sacred armor, holding a heavenly book and a golden scepter, descended from the sky. She stood in midair and looked down like a god. Where was Lin Wuti? The people who were looking for treasures below were stunned. It was so beautiful. Was an angel descending? They were shocked. Some people were puzzled. Who was Lin Wuti? They had never heard of him. Are you stupid? He was the person who defeated Flawless Bailey. Oh, you mean the genius who was crowned king in the sacred city. Why was he here? A man walked out with a folding fan in his hand. Lin Wuti was not here. How should I address you? I am Iron Fan Saint. Can we be friends? Such a beautiful woman was very rare. If he could get her, it would be great. Thinking of this, he laughed. In the sky, the woman in golden armor lowered her gaze and waved her hand. A law descended and enveloped Iron Fan Saint. Iron Fan Saint screamed miserably. Countless cracks appeared on his body, and even his soul was being torn apart. That look was terrifying. The woman in the sky said coldly, "Punishment." With a boom, Iron Fan Saint was torn into pieces, and his soul was destroyed. The surrounding people were shocked and kept retreating. Who was this person? Iron Fan Saint was also an expert among the sages, but now he was killed by the other party's voice. It was unbelievable. Where was Lin Wuti? The woman in the sky spoke again. The surrounding people were terrified. Some people were angry. Lin Wuti was not here. Go find him somewhere else. The woman in golden armor's eyes were piercingly cold. This was the territory of the Twins of Destiny. Even if it was destroyed, it was not a place where you could come. You trespassed into the territory of the Twins of Destiny. Your crimes are punishable by death. Punishment. A cold voice sounded, and endless black figures appeared in the surroundings. They brought with them a biting, cold, killing intent, as if they were the messengers of hell, covering the sky and earth. In an instant, many people were torn into pieces. Screams rang out, "Run!" The others were terrified and wanted to escape. A great battle broke out in an instant. In less than half an hour, the hundreds of sages who came to search for treasures were all killed. Blood dyed the 9 heavens red. The other 100 black-robed figures stood there, blood dripping from their bodies. Erect a monument, seal it, and warn the world. No one is allowed to set foot in it. The woman in golden armor said coldly. The surrounding 100 mysterious experts used the bones of the dead sages to erect a heavenly monument. They used their sage blood to form a barrier that enveloped 15 old Zhang's mansions, and warned the world. Those who crossed the line would be killed without mercy. The Twins of Destiny were not to be challenged. Chapter 51:28. It wasn't just the 15th Elder's residence, the 8th Elder's residence, as well as the other 2 residences with avatars. They killed those who sought treasures there and set up a monument as a warning. For a moment, the world was in an uproar. Who was so terrifying? Could it be that this was the legendary power? Someone exclaimed. Others asked and were puzzled. An old man from the Tianpeng race said in a deep voice, "The Destiny Twins had an extremely hidden power called the Destiny Judgment. It was said that they existed for the purpose of punishment. Whoever dared to provoke the Destiny Twins would be punished." This group of people was very similar. They should be the Destiny Judgment. They were here to punish. Lin Wuti was finished. This group of people's strength was terrifying to the extreme. They were cold and would definitely not show any mercy. As soon as these words were said, the entire Yuheng continent was stunned. It seemed that the Destiny twins were completely enraged. They even used such a mysterious power. Lin Wuti was definitely going to die. For a moment, a storm was brewing. Everywhere was talking about this matter. After the Phoenix race and Murong Qingqing received the news, they were also very nervous. They wondered if Lin Xian was in danger. It was just that they couldn't contact him now. At this moment, Lin Xian began to go into seclusion after obtaining the power of the 4 avatars. He found a cave in the mountain range and hid in it. Then he set up a formation. After that, he entered the sword world and cultivated inside. He wanted to break through to the great sage realm as soon as possible. Lin Xian was in seclusion. The outside world was getting more and more terrifying, especially the Destiny Judgment. They were dominating everywhere. The strength they displayed terrified countless people. Probably no one could resist this power. The matter here was known by people from other families and sections. Even the Yaoguang continent and Saint Distant City knew about it. In Saint Distant City, countless people were talking about it. Did you know? Something shocking happened in the Yuheng continent. The twin of Destiny clan was attacked by someone, and the residences of several core elders were destroyed. Even the 4 avatars were destroyed. Heavens, I've heard of this family. This is a very terrifying ancient race. Legend had it that as long as one of the good and evil twins was still alive, it would be an immortal existence. It was extremely difficult to kill them. Who was it that was so terrifying? The people of the 3 major orthodoxies and the clan of the ancients were very excited. Who else could it be? I got the news that it was Lin Wuti. What? Lin Wuti? Invincible Lin of Dao? Why did he go to Yuheng Road? How did they become enemies with the twins of Destiny? Countless people cried out in alarm. The people of St. Origin City were completely dumbfounded. Lin Wuti was a godlike existence here. One had to know that he was a top-notch genius who had been crowned as a king. He was also a supreme youth. He was someone who was very likely to become a great emperor. However, after he was crowned, he disappeared and hid himself. At first, many people thought that Lin Wuti was hiding because he was afraid of the 10,000 Dragon Court. Who would have thought that the other party had already left the ancient city and headed to the Alioth continent? Furthermore, in the Jade Horizontal continent, he did not keep a low profile at all. He directly challenged the Twins of Destiny. Not only that, have you heard? Lin Wuti had also set off a storm in the ancient Jade continent. It was said that his Dao companion was a genius of the Phoenix race. At the same time, Bailey Wuck was also pursuing this woman. Lin Wuti and Bailey Wuck had a huge battle. Are you talking about the number 1 genius of the Tianpeng race? He had the combat strength of a disciple. He was known as the uncrowned king. Countless people thought highly of him. Yes, that's right, it was him. However, no matter how strong he was still defeated by Lin Xian. Heavens, Lin Wuti was too strong. He had actually defeated another young powerhouse. There were probably not many people who could suppress him now. The Dragon Prince was injured by him, and now Bailey Wuck was defeated by him. It was said that the genius of the Twins of Destiny, Yunyu, was also defeated by him. These were 3 young powerhouses. Who knew how many more miracles this guy would create? Countless people were discussing. The people of the Dao immediately became agitated. They cheered wildly. Did you see that? These were the geniuses of their Dao. Especially those from the Divine Union. They were even more excited. They raised their heads proudly. Lin Xian was their boss. Even if he was in other places, he would still be able to defeat everyone. He was definitely someone who could become a great emperor. The people from the Dragon Palace gritted their teeth when they heard the news. The Blue Race, the Golden Crow Race, and the Thousand Dragon Dynasty were so angry that they vomited blood. Damn it, this guy actually went to other places to defeat everyone. He even created such a battle record. Could it be that he had become even stronger than before? The people from the Dragon Sea race were also collecting information. Soon they snorted. Lin Wuti was dead meat. Why did they say that? There were other doubts. The powerhouse from the Dragon Sea race said that he had offended the Twins of Destiny. Do you think the Twins of Destiny will let him go? We have already found out that the Twins of Destiny have mobilized a top mysterious force. Destiny adjudication will punish Lin Wuti. Lin Wuti would definitely not be able to escape death. What was destiny adjudication? Many people were puzzled. Soon, some information about destiny adjudication appeared. The number of times they appeared was very few. They appeared once 2,000 years ago and again 5,000 years ago. Those 2 times, there were extremely terrifying, peerless powerhouses, and even several sects and clans joined forces to challenge the Twins of Destiny. This caused the Twins of Destiny to be injured. In the end, when destiny adjudication appeared, whether it was the peerless powerhouses or the joint forces of the top clans, they were all destroyed. No one could escape. They were all killed by destiny adjudication. Their souls were suppressed in the 18 levels of hell. God, this destiny adjudication was so terrifying. Absolutely. Apart from the Emperor race, destiny adjudication would sweep through everything. No matter how strong Lin Wuti was, could he resist it? For a moment, everyone was shocked. Many people were ready to see a joke. If Lin Wuti fell, it would be an earth-shattering event. There was also a lot of discussion on the side. The people from the Divine Union were worried. The people from the Dragon Palace sneered. They wanted to see how he would die. Bai Susu was the first to speak. Some people were really naive. Lin Wuti was in existence who had an extreme weapon. So what if destiny adjudication was strong? Didn't you think that Lin Wuti was dangerous? Didn't he kill strong enemies time and time again? Just wait and see. Lin Wuti will definitely kill destiny adjudication this time. The people from the Divine Union came out one after another to support Lin Xian. Even the Dugu clan, Nailin clan, Fire Dragon clan, and others supported him. The news spread all over the ancient city. The patriarchs and grand elders of the older generation were also discussing with each other. They were also paying special attention to this battle. After all, Lin Xian was a crown king, a youth paragon. His life and death were related to the battle on the road to becoming a great emperor. Chapter 51-29 Heaven Sect. In Yi Wudao's residence, Leaf Daodenier stood there, his brow furrowed. He looked at the information in his hand, his eyes flashing. Is destiny adjudication really so terrifying? There were a few elders of the Yi clan standing beside him. They said that it was extremely terrifying. Destiny adjudication is very mysterious. It has only appeared twice in the past 6,000 years, but we still got some information. There are 100 of them. The leader is wearing a golden saint robe, like an angel, with an incomparably holy radiance. The remaining 99 people are wearing black robes with a hellish aura. These people's strength is unfathomable. They should be at least in the middle stage of the Great Saint realm. The leader is very likely to be a sage. More importantly, they have good and evil phantoms. As long as they are not killed in an instant, they are immortal. Moreover, their bloodlines are connected, and they can summon even more terrifying existences. So, unless it is someone at the peak of the Great Saint realm, even a sage will die without a doubt. After hearing this, Yi Wudao frowned. This is not good news. The Yi family elders sighed. Yes, Lin Wuti is strong, but he is only a sage king after all. Although he is a top genius with a trump card, he can fight above his level. But I am afraid he is still unable to compete with a true sage. And destiny adjudication is an existence that even a sage can't compete with. More importantly, that little guy shouldn't know anything about destiny's adjudication. So if he is careless, he will be in danger. Leaf Daodenier clenched his fists and looked off into the distance. He wondered if Lin Xian would be able to withstand it this time. This is a great calamity for Lin Xian, Yuhing continent in a primitive mountain range. Demon beasts are constantly roaring. There are dangers everywhere in the forest. In a cave behind a waterfall, there is a mysterious array flickering. At this moment, a figure flew quickly and landed beside the waterfall. The array exploded, but the figure said, "It's me." The crimson dragon flew out and said, "You are back. Come in." The person who came back is none other than Yunyu, and this is the place where the crimson dragon and the others are resting. After Yunyu came in, her expression was incomparably solemn. "What about Lin Gongzi? I need to see him. He was cultivating when the toad jumped over. He had no time to see you. If you have something to say, tell us." Yunyu shook her head. It was an extremely important matter, so she had to tell him personally. The crimson dragon said, "Then wait at least until tomorrow." He began to transmit his voice through the formation. Inside the sword world, an extremely terrifying black and white aura appeared on Lin Xian's body. The laws of yin and yang on it were enough to sweep away everything. His cultivation had also become stronger than before. He sat cross-legged in the Four-Spirit Valley and continuously absorbed the laws of yin and yang. There was also an endless supply of power for him. At this moment, the formation beside him flickered, and a voice sounded. Lin Xian slowly opened his eyes. His gaze contained a mysterious power. The next moment, he frowned slightly and walked outside. This was a message from the Crimson Dragon. Previously, he had said not to disturb him unless it was something very important. The fact that Zhang Xian had sent him a telepathic message meant that something important had happened. He walked out. "What's going on?" Lin Xian asked after he came out. "Lin Gongzi, you're finally out?" Yunyu walked forward. Lin Xian was surprised. "Oh, you're back again." When they left earlier, they separated from Yunyu. After all, their paths were different, and they were not afraid of Yunyu betraying them. After all, the Destiny clan would definitely not forgive the other party after such a thing happened. But what was going on with the other party now? "Lin Gongzi, something bad has happened. The Destiny Adjudicator has been dispatched." "Destiny Adjudicator? What is that? Is it very powerful?" Yunyu's expression was extremely solemn. He said that the Destiny Adjudicator was an extremely mysterious power of our Destiny Gemini clan. They had specially prepared it for punishment. Once this power was used, even a sage would die without a doubt. Other than those at the peak of the great sage realm, who could escape, no one else could. Even a sage was going to die. The Crimson Dragon exclaimed. The toad could also jump up. It was so powerful. Could it be that a peak of the great sage realm was dispatched? A peak of the great sage realm stood at the top of the sage realm. Such a person was also an ancestor-level existence in the clan of the ancients. They wouldn't be dispatched easily, right? If it was really such an existence, then they would probably have to leave this place immediately. Yunyu said, it was not a peak of the great sage realm. The Destiny Adjudicator was composed of 100 people, including the holy angels and 99 hunters. They were enough to destroy a sage. It turned out that it was not a peak of the great sage realm. The Crimson Dragon and the others heaved a sigh of relief, but their expressions were still extremely solemn. According to Yunyu, this was simply a group of killing gods. Lin Xian said, "It's fine. The Yuhing continent was incomparably vast. Let's leave this place and go to another place to hide. They probably won't be able to find it at all. Wait for me to break through and become a great sage. At that time, I don't care what Destiny Adjudicator you are. You can't do anything to me either." Lin Xian's eyes bloomed with an extremely terrifying light. Next, they secretly moved and left this mountain range. They went to a more distant place and completely lived in seclusion. Lin Xian did not come out at all in the sword world. He cultivated with all his strength. Outside, the Destiny Adjudicator was frantically searching, but they were crazy. The Yuhun continent was boundlessly vast. If a person really wanted to hide, they would not be able to find him if he hid for 10 years. Unless they used some extremely mysterious power, such as deducing the secrets of the heavens. But they did not know that kind of power, so they asked their family for help. The Destiny clan leader personally invited an extremely terrifying expert to deduce the secrets of the heavens. This time they were really crazy. They paid a huge price to invite an expert from the Heavenly Tao Valley, the Nine-Finger Saint, the Heavenly Tao who could deduce the secrets of the heavens. But the price to invite them was also very high. This time, the Destiny Gemini clan was really going all out. The arrival of the Nine-Fingers Saint caused the Destiny Gemini clan to be incomparably excited. With such an expert, even a peak great sage would not be able to hide. Everyone was looking forward to it. The Nine-Fingers Saint had 9 fingers. His palm was constantly forming seals. Around him, endless runes of the heavens appeared. In front of him was a tortoise shell. It was very huge and engraved with patterns. At this moment, those patterns were constantly interweaving. The Nine-Fingers Saint deduced for 3 days and 3 nights. Suddenly, he opened his eyes and flew out. He spat out a mouthful of old blood. No, his hair instantly turned white, as if he had aged hundreds of years. The others were stunned. The Destiny clan leader's expression changed drastically. What's going on? He hurriedly went up and shouted angrily, "Quickly bring out the healing panacea." The Nine-Fingers Saint's body trembled. His eyes were filled with fear. This person was not in this world. What did he mean? Everyone else was stunned. The Great Elder brought out 2 treasure boxes. The Patriarch opened them. There were extremely precious spiritual medicines inside. The Destiny clan leader took out a section and gave it to the Nine-Fingers Saint to swallow. Then he asked, "Can you explain in detail?" Chapter 5130. After Nine-Fingers Saint swallowed the elixir, his complexion recovered slightly. The hearts of the other Fate race members were bleeding. This elixir could definitely bring the dead back to life. Evil Good Ancestor would definitely kill him. He had to get news of him at all costs. Only one person took a deep breath and said, "I checked and he isn't in Jade Horizontal Continent." The Grand Elder gritted his teeth. Damn it, did that kid return to Holy Abyss Ancient City? However, Nine-Fingers Saint shook his head. No, you don't understand. Not only is he not in Jade Horizontal Continent, he isn't in Jade Horizontal Continent either. He isn't in Holy Abyss Ancient City either. He isn't in Buried Emperor Star. What? He isn't in Buried Emperor Star? Fate Race Clan leader was stunned. How long has it been? He has already left this star world? How do we find him? There are countless star worlds in the universe. He needs to find a place to hide. That would be troublesome. Even if he hides at the end of the world, I can still deduce his location. But the space he is in is very mysterious. I forcefully tried to deduce his location, but I was punished by the heavens. That's why I got injured. Heavenly punishment. Everyone was even more shocked. Nine-Fingers Saint came from Heavenly Tao Valley. How could he be punished by the heavens? There was only one explanation. That is, the place he is in isn't simple. It's impossible to deduce his location. Did he return to the Phoenix race? Fate Race Clan leader frowned. The Phoenix race is an Emperor race. They might be able to hide from the heavens. Even if it's an Emperor race, I can still deduce his location. Unless he used an extreme grade weapon or entered the core of the formation, he wouldn't be able to do so. I don't think he can enter with his identity. I'm leaving. Nine-Fingers Saint shook his head and left the Fate race. The Fate race member sighed. Even Nine-Fingers Saint couldn't deduce his location. Damn it, who can find that kid? Would they not be able to take revenge for this? Father, I'll go. Yunhai transmitted his voice. Fate Race Clan leader was stunned. Aren't you accepting the inheritance? Yunhai said, "It will be done soon." At that time I will challenge him. Isn't he Linwoody, the Crown King? Since he has a supreme identity, I should be able to challenge him. If he doesn't dare to come, he would lose all his face. That would be considered revenge. Okay. The Fate clan leader's eyes shone with a cold light. His son was already very close to becoming a saint, and with the old ancestor's inheritance, his son's strength would advance by leaps and bounds. No matter how strong the other party was, he was no match for his son. When the time came, they would openly challenge him. His opponent was the champion of the championship. If he did not dare to accept the challenge, his reputation would be completely ruined. This was even worse than killing the other party. Cold smiles appeared on their faces. Soon, the Fate clan sent out another message. This message was sent to the entire Yuhun continent. The young master of the Destiny Gemini clan, Yun Hai, wanted to challenge the One Crown Wong Linwoody. The time was set to be 1 month later. As soon as the news came out, countless people were in an uproar. Linwoody had no choice but to accept the challenge. Otherwise, his reputation would be completely ruined. From now on, he was no longer fit to be the young wisdom sovereign. Voices of discussion rang out one after another. The heavenly rock race's flawless 100 miles snorted coldly when he heard the news. This move was truly vicious. Linwoody did not accept the challenge, and his reputation was ruined. If Linwoody accepted the challenge, he would not be able to escape and would die without a doubt. It could be said that whether he advanced or retreated, it would not benefit Lin Xian at all. Do you think he will accept the challenge? Voices of discussion rang out one after another. I guess he won't, someone said. However, there were also people who shook their heads. No, he will definitely come. You don't know how important honor is to him, especially someone like him who wants to reach the top of the path to becoming a great emperor. He will definitely not miss the stop. Otherwise, his Tao heart will be damaged, and his cultivation will stagnate in the future. Then he will definitely die if he comes. Even if he defeats Yun Hai, the Destiny clan will set up an inescapable net to kill him. This was a scene of certain death. Voices of discussion rang out. Murong Qingqing's expression changed when he heard the news. Damn the Destiny clan. The Destiny clan is too despicable. Others were also discussing. Lin Xian had also received the news. The Crimson Dragon and Yun Yu had been secretly investigating. When they heard the news, their brows furrowed tightly. The Cloud Immortal Palace asked if they should tell Lin Gongzi. The Crimson Dragon gritted his teeth. After thinking for a long time, he said, "Tell him. After all, this is his challenge." As for the decision, it was up to him. The Crimson Dragon told Lin Xian the news. Lin Xian also frowned after hearing it. A battle to the death in a month. He sneered. Who does Yun Hai think he is? Is he worthy of fighting with me? Spread the news and tell the world that not just any Tom, Dick, or Harry can challenge me. If you want to challenge me, you have to see if you have the qualifications first. Lin Xian continued to cultivate in seclusion. The Crimson Dragon sneered when he heard the news. Soon he spread the news. For a moment, the world was in an uproar. God, Linwoody responded. Do you know? Of course. Linwoody responded domineeringly. Who does Yun Hai think he is? Is he worthy of fighting with me? He also said that not just anyone can challenge him. Isn't this a slap to the face of the twins of destiny? However, someone said, I think he's right. Linwoody has the identity of a crown prince. His status is so noble. You don't have the identity and strength of an emperor. You don't have the qualifications to challenge him. Yes, that's right. Linwoody wasn't even afraid of an emperor, let alone a young patriarch. For a moment, many people supported Lin Xian. There was no choice. Previously, Lin Xian and Bailiwick fought and displayed today's strength. Indeed, many people were convinced. Many young geniuses idolized Lin Xian. After hearing this, the twins of destiny were so angry that they almost vomited blood. Is their young patriarch a nobody? Not qualified to challenge him? Damn it. After hearing this, Yun Hai's eyes bloomed with extremely cold, killing intent. Is the other party looking down on me? Saying that I'm not qualified? Okay, then I'll give him the qualifications. Yun Hai stood out. Previously, when he was chasing Lin Wuti, he had already entered the ancestral hall and accepted the twin souls. At this moment, the bloodline in his body had become even more terrifying. It had even reached the ancestral bloodline. His strength had become even stronger than before. As long as he accepted a lightning tribulation, he would be able to break through and become a true sage. Although he hadn't broken through yet, in his opinion, his current strength wasn't any weaker than a sage. Once he unleashed his strongest bloodline, he was confident that he could compete with a sage. It seems that everyone in the world is looking down on me. Then I'll kill a few geniuses and experts and become famous. I want to see who dares to look down on me. On this day, Yun Hai set off. He wanted to challenge the top geniuses and experts of the Yuhun continent to prove himself. Chapter 50-131. 3 days later, Yun Hai defeated the top genius of the Divine Fire Sect in 30 moves. It shocked the world. God, the top genius of the Divine Fire Sect, was a terrifying existence. How could he be defeated in 30 moves? This Yun Hai was too terrifying. 5 days later, the top genius of the Earth Spirit Sect was defeated in 50 moves. 10 days later, the Elder of Mount Daqing was defeated in 100 moves. 15 days later, the famous Fairy Yuling of the Jade Horizontal Continent had been defeated in 100 moves. News came one after another. Everyone was shocked. This was because the people who were defeated were all extremely terrifying experts or geniuses in the Yuhun continent. Such people were supreme existences that could sweep across a region. But now they were all defeated. And they were all defeated by Yun Hai. Heavens, this cloud sea is too powerful. Why didn't they know that he was so terrifying? He was using these glorious results to prove to the world that he was qualified to challenge Lin Wuti. Lin Wuti, am I qualified? Yun Hai shouted loudly. No one replied. On the 20th day, Yun Hai challenged the top genius of the Tianpeng race flawless 100 miles. Countless people were shocked. However, the Tianpeng race said coldly, flawless is in seclusion. If you want to fight, I'll accompany you. An elder of the Tianpeng race walked out and fought with Yun Hai. After 700 moves, the elder was defeated in the end. You're very strong. I lost. The elder of the Tianpeng race gritted his teeth. Half of his body was shattered. He had to admit that Yun Hai was too strong. That bloodline shocked him. Even flawless 100 miles might not have the confidence to win against Yun Hai. Heavens, even the top-notch expert of the Heavenly Rock race was defeated. Who else could suppress Yun Hai? Yun Hai continued to challenge. This time, the Phoenix race sent out a genius to challenge him. It wasn't Morong Qingqing or Feng Jiu, but he was also terrifying in the Phoenix race. It was a man. He was a fire phoenix. Flames engulfed the 9 heavens. He charged forward and fought with Yun Hai. After 1,000 moves, he was also injured. He won again. Yun Hai had never lost. He was too strong. He could definitely compete with the Crown Prince. Although he was relatively old, he was still considered a top-notch expert. He was qualified to fight with Lin Wuti. At this moment, an expert finally stood out and said coldly. Everyone else agreed. Yes, that's right. Although Lin Wuti was a champion, Yun Hai was also a top expert. Both sides were qualified to fight. Lin Wuti, are you still not coming out? The people of the Destiny Gemini clan sneered. What crown king? You dare to call yourself unrivaled? You don't deserve it. Yun Hai said in a clear voice. A month's time is almost up. I now have the qualifications to challenge you. If you don't dare to come out, then your title of Crown King will be mine. From now on, you, Lin Wuti, will have to kneel and kowtow to the Fate clan. His loud and clear voice spread in all directions. If that was the case, then Lin Wuti was finished this time. Even if he didn't die, his reputation would be ruined. The blow to his opponent's Dao heart was too great. Would Lin Wuti accept the challenge? The news was passed on. Yunyue and the Crimson Dragon quickly returned after receiving the news. "Kid, this is bad. That guy is too much," they informed Lin Xian. Lin Xian frowned. In order to fight with him, Lin Xian had challenged top geniuses and experts in the past month and obtained a dazzling result. Yunyue frowned. "I knew that he couldn't be so strong. Seems like he must have obtained a great opportunity in the past month. I think the old Master of Destiny must have given him some power." "Lin Gongzi, you have to be careful." When she mentioned the old Master of Destiny, Yunyue's eyes were filled with fear. Although Lin Xian had killed 4 avatars, compared to the old Master of the headquarters, it was not worth mentioning. The old Master's strength was terrifying to the extreme. No one could provoke him. That was the true trump card of the Destiny clan. Now that the old Master had given Yunhai power, Yunhai was extremely strong. The toad said, "Kid, do you want to fight?" "Why not?" Lin Xian stood up. "If he wants to die, I'll fulfill his wish. But you haven't broken through." The Crimson Dragon was worried. "Besides, the Twins of Destiny are doing this to let you out. As long as you go out, regardless of the outcome, they will be able to find you. At that time, the Heavenly Network and those people from the Destiny Judgment will definitely be a fierce battle. I know this. I'll tell Qingqing and ask her to ask the Phoenix clan to hold the line. So what if I haven't broken through? I've already felt the bottleneck. I think this battle is an opportunity. Maybe I can break through this battle." Lin Xian's eyes shone with a piercing light. There were still 5 days before the 1-month deadline. He had to hurry. "Let's go." With a wave of his hand, Lin Xian had made up his mind. He walked out of his home world. The devil wings on his back opened, and he flew into the distance at extreme speed. At the same time, he sent a message to Morong Qingqing, asking her to ask the Phoenix clan to hold the line. After receiving the message, Morong Qingqing was worried. When she heard that Lin Xian was about to break through, she was very happy. When he became a great sage, she was overjoyed. She thought that Lin Xian's current strength had undergone an earth-shattering change. "Brother Xian, don't worry. I'll go and ask them." Morong found her master, who was also the Grand Elder of the Phoenix clan. This was a type of old phoenix, her hair grizzled white, an old woman. She usually planted flowers and fished. When she saw Morong Qingqing, she smiled and said, "Disciple, you haven't come to see me in a long time." Morong Qingqing said, "Master, you have to help me this time. If you don't help me, I can only ask the Queen Mother of the West." The old phoenix was surprised. "What is it that you have to ask the Queen Mother of the West for? Are you going to use an extreme weapon?" Morong Qingqing said there's no need for that. She told him about Lin Xian's situation. After hearing this, the old phoenix laughed. "You little girl, so this is what you want. Don't worry. This old man also wants to see just how outstanding this Lin Wuti you mentioned is." There was also a colorful light in his eyes. "That's great." Morong Qingqing was overjoyed. With this old phoenix, even if the Fate Clan's patriarch came personally, he probably wouldn't dare to touch Lin Xian. At the same time, she spread the news that Lin Xian would fight in a month's time. When the news came out, the world was in an uproar. The heavens were really going to fight. I told you that Lin Wuti would never be afraid. Cultivators of our generation are not afraid of a fight. Those who supported Lin Xian were all excited. Just watch. Lin Wuti will use his peerless divine ability to defeat Yunhai. That's right. Lin Wuti could even injure the Dragon Prince, let alone Yunhai. Let's see what it means to be truly invincible. Exclamations sounded one after another, spreading through the 9 heavens. Chapter 5132. The cheers for Lin Xian were too loud. His appearance excited everyone. However, some people snorted coldly. What an idiot. Who did he think he was? Even if he can defeat Yun Hai, can he avoid the judgment of fate? Just wait, he will definitely die this time. He actually wants to fight. The people of the Tianpeng clan were also shocked. This time, even Bailey Wuck came out of seclusion. He wanted to watch the battle personally. The people of the Phoenix clan were even more surprised. Those genius elders and even the patriarch of the Phoenix clan were going to take action. Even Feng Jio was going to go this time. For a moment, wind and clouds gathered in all directions. The location of the battle this time was a mountain called the Heaven Battling Peak. It was very famous and everyone gathered there. When the people of the Gemini clan heard the news, they all sneered. Great, this kid is really an idiot. Does he really think he can win this time? Just wait, this will be the time of his death. The people of the Gemini clan began to prepare. They were already heading over to gather the judgment of fate. Even Yun Hai had arrived at the Heaven Battling Peak ahead of time. He stood there and looked down at the surroundings. Lin Wudi, I will use your blood to make my name known to the world. On the last day of a month. At this moment, countless experts and geniuses from the great sects and clans of the remote antiquity had gathered in all directions. They had already found a place to watch the battle. There was only one figure standing on the mountain peak in front of them. Is that Yun Hai? It is said that he is already 3,000 years old. It is unbelievable. He is so young. I can't tell it all. One after another, discussions sounded. For example, the Divine Fire sect, Deching Peak, and the other sects that lost to him had solemn expressions. They had fought with him before, so they naturally knew how terrifying he was. Bailey Wuck stood there and looked at him with a solemn expression. His opponent was indeed very strong, but he was not afraid. The people of the Phoenix clan also came. The patriarch of the Phoenix clan, Feng Jio, Murong Qingqing, and even a supreme elder, the Old Phoenix, came. His appearance surprised the patriarch of the Phoenix clan. Even Feng Jio went to greet the supreme elder. The Old Phoenix said with a smile, "There is no need to be so polite. I just came to see the rising, invincible genius." The people of the Twin of Destiny clan had also come. On the surface, there weren't many of them. Only the Fate clan leader, some elders and geniuses were present. In truth, they had hidden most of the army and the judgment of fate, waiting for the critical moment to kill with a single strike. Looking at the sun rising high in the sky, the Destiny clan's leader sneered. "Still not here? I think you don't dare to come." The genius of the Destiny Gemini clan snorted. "Coward! What invincible Lin?" His title of Crown King belongs to Yun Hai. Cold snorts could be heard one after another. On the Heaven Battling Peak, Yun Hai was expressionless as he waited patiently. Suddenly, his eyes lit up as he looked into the distance. The other elders and experts also looked into the distance. They could feel a powerful force coming towards them. In the next moment, they saw a few black dots in the sky, streaking across like lightning. Lin Wudi. Bailey Wuck clenched his fists. Feng Jio smiled. Murong Qingqing also became nervous. Is Big Brother Xian all right? When she saw Lin Xian descending like a god, she smiled happily. Lin Xian was here. Not only that, the Toad, the Crimson Dragon, and Whitey were all here. Beside him was a woman in a red robe. Her face was covered with a veil that concealed her appearance. It was Yun Yu. Go and meet up with Murong Qingqing. Lin Xian said a few words. The Crimson Dragon and the others came to Murong Qingqing's side. If a battle really broke out, the Destiny Gemini clan wouldn't dare to attack them. You are invincible, Lin. On the Heaven Battling Peak, Yun Hai looked at the young man in front of him and asked in a deep voice, "That's right, I am. I heard that you dared to challenge me. I don't know where your courage comes from." Lin Xian stepped in the air and descended. He also came to the peak and said indifferently, I am a merciful person and will give you a chance. Disappear in front of me immediately and I will spare your life. Spare my life? Ha! Yun Hai sneered as if he had heard the funniest joke. Young man, you don't know the immensity of heaven and earth. Even if you are strong and have the Emperor's talent, so what? I will tell you that the gap between the realms is insurmountable. Right now, I'm very close to the great sage level and even have the combat strength of a great sage. Will you be able to withstand it? Speaking of this, he snorted coldly as a terrifying aura spread out in all directions. It was mighty and majestic, covering the entire heaven and earth. When the spectators felt this power, their bodies trembled and their scalps went numb. Heavens, this power! How could he have such a terrifying aura? He was hiding it before. The experts from the Divine Fire Sect and Great Green Peak were also shocked. They realized that this was even more terrifying than when they were fighting. Bailey Wuck's face was gloomy. This power also shocked him. Even he didn't have much of a chance of winning. The Destiny Clan's patriarch also stood out and said loudly, "Invincible Lin, this time we are competing purely with our own strength. We know that you have the heaven-devouring jar. Do you dare not to use other weapons? Competing with your own strength? Fine, then we will not use any weapons, including the heaven-devouring jar." Lin Xian said indifferently, "Very good." The Destiny Clan's patriarch smiled. Yun Hai shook his head. To be honest, even if you use the heaven-devouring jar, I still have a way to suppress you. It's easier now. Make your move, or you won't have a chance. The others were shocked. Is he really not going to use any weapons? They knew that Lin Xian's greatest reliance was the extreme-grade weapon, the sky-devouring jar. Once that item was used, even if he couldn't win, he could at least save his life. Now that Lin Xian had lost his greatest reliance, could he compete with Yun Hai? Some of Lin Xian's supporters were angry. This is too despicable. Weapons are also part of one's strength. That's right. If you have the ability, take out your weapon too. However, no matter what, all of this couldn't be changed. Let me make the first move? That's fine. Lin Xian slapped out with his palm. There was a monstrous divine flame on it that swept across the 9 heavens. The flames of extreme yang turned into a golden crow, covering the sky and the earth. Flames? Humph. Let me show you what holiness is. Yun Hai snorted coldly. Endless golden light appeared on his body, illuminating the 9 heavens. The surrounding people were so dazzled that they couldn't open their eyes. In the next moment, they saw a boundless golden palm descending from the sky. It's too terrifying. It's the holy palm. Countless people sucked in a breath of cold air. They naturally knew about the ultimate divine ability of the Destiny Twins. However, they didn't expect it to be so powerful when it was used by the other party. The members of the Twin of Destiny clan were also surprised after seeing this. The elders were also shocked. Has the young master become so powerful? Chapter 5133. Looking at this terrifying palm, even Murong Qingcheng, Yunyu, and the Crimson Dragon's expressions changed. Because this attack was really too terrifying, especially Yunyu. Yunyu was especially shocked. It seemed that Yun Hai must have obtained an extremely powerful trump card. Otherwise, his strength wouldn't have become so terrifying. Between heaven and earth, the sacred palm grabbed forward with the radiance of the great Tao. It wanted to suppress Lin Xian. Lin Xian snorted coldly. He roared angrily and took a step forward. His body was surrounded by extremely terrifying flames. He was like the god of the sun that wanted to burn the 9 heavens. The flames that filled the sky rushed toward the sacred palm. The two collided, producing a shocking sound. Suppress him. Seeing that his opponent had blocked his palm, Yun Hai roared. Yun Hai roared, and the divine palm exploded with light again. Mysterious runes appeared on his 5 fingers. Those were ancient, primordial runes. They were abnormally terrifying. As soon as they appeared, the power of this divine ability increased exponentially. The 5 fingers seemed to have turned into divine arrows that pierced through the 9 heavens. They pierced through the divine flames. Then, the huge palm wanted to refine Lin Xian. Light of purification. The primordial runes on the palm burst out with a bright light that purified everything. Not good, many people exclaimed. If they were enveloped by the light of purification, they would probably turn into a pile of bones. It was over. The corners of the twins of Destiny's lips curled up. It seemed that they didn't need to use the judgment of destiny to fight against the other party. Humph! Lin Xian snorted coldly. 6-path fist. He punched out, and around his fist there were illusions of 6 different worlds. It was extremely mysterious. As soon as the scene appeared, everyone was shocked. What kind of fist technique was this? It seemed to be able to pierce through the sky. It was too terrifying. As soon as the 6-path fist was punched out, it swept in all directions with an indomitable spirit and the power of the divine body. It collided with the other party's light of evolution. There was a rumbling sound between heaven and earth. The endless void shattered. The blood of the surrounding people surged. As expected of a top expert, these 2 people were fighting fiercely. The light of evolution was shattered by the 6-path fist. Even the 5 fingers were shaking violently. Devil's Fang. At this moment, Yunhai roared again. He would never give up on the advantage he had gained. 5 demon heads appeared on the sacred finger. The fangs on it were abnormally sharp. The demon head bit at Lin Xian, wanting to tear him into pieces. This time, the power of the good and evil children erupted at the same time. The 2 opposing forces were perfectly fused together. His power had increased again, as expected of the young patriarch. This time, how was Lin Wuti going to defend himself? The people of Fate Clan sneered. They had never seen Lin Xian in action before. Therefore, they thought that Lin Xian was dead meat. However, the other experts had grave expressions on their faces. Lin Xian had defeated Flawless 100 miles before. Would he fall so easily? Looking at the 5 demon heads, Lin Xian coldly snorted. With a wave of his hand, endless devil qi gathered on his left hand, forming the devil god seal. He slammed his palm forward. With one strike, one of the demon heads was smashed into pieces, turning into a death aura that lingered between heaven and earth. A miserable cry was heard, causing Yunhai's expression to change. Damn it! The other 4 demon heads rushed over crazily. Lin Xian continuously waved the devil god seal, smashing the other 4 demon heads. For a moment, Lin Xian was extremely powerful. He swept in all directions, causing his opponent's palm to shake continuously. Yunhai roared and suddenly closed his palm. At this moment, the void within his palm was completely shattered. Lin Wuti was hit. Seeing this scene, countless cries of surprise sounded, but they were suppressed by this power. His body should have turned into a bloody mist long ago. Although he was not dead, he was still seriously injured. Kid, let's see how you die. I will refine you. Yunhai's lips curled into a smile again. However, not long after, the smile disappeared, because a sonorous sound came from his palm. A huge force rushed towards his palm. Then, one of his fingers was broken. Lin Xian used the 6 paths divine fist. After waving it millions of times in a row, he directly broke one of his fingers. Then he charged out forcefully, surrounded by laws. He was extremely powerful. Kill for me. He clasped his hands together and slashed out with his sword. A sharp sword chi descended and split the remaining palm in half. How was this possible? The people of the Twin of Destiny clan roared crazily. Such a terrifying divine ability was actually broken by the other party. What kind of power was this? The expressions of the others changed drastically. It was too terrifying. It was indeed Lin Wuti. Bailey Wuck and the others had solemn expressions. They knew that the other party would not be defeated so easily. After Lin Xian came out, Sword Chi surrounded his body. He smiled and said, "Is that all you have? You really disappoint me. If that's all you have, then it's all over. This sharp-tongued kid has some strength. No wonder he can be crowned king. Unfortunately, my trump card is not something you can imagine. Next, you have angered me. Suffer my anger." Yun Hai's eyes blossomed with an extremely terrifying light. His aura also changed. It was no longer sacred, but sinister and terrifying, as if he had transformed into the death god of hell. As his palm opened and closed, it was no longer the light of purification, but the 18 levels of hell. Chapter 5134. Who was it? He actually made a move at this time. Even the people of the Twin of Destiny clan shouted angrily. They wanted to help. However, at this time they were stunned. They found that the one who made the move was actually Lin Xian. Impossible! Wasn't this kid suppressed in the 18 levels of hell? How could he still come out? An illusion. That was his afterimage, just now. His speed was too fast. The people of the Thunder clan roared. They had fought with Lin Xian before, so they naturally knew that his speed was even more terrifying than their thunderous steps. Yun Hai's pupils shrank. He felt a fatal danger coming from behind. He didn't know who it was, and he didn't have the chance to listen to the discussions of the people around him. At this moment, he roared and his body swayed, dodging the fatal danger. This sword pierced his shoulder, tearing a wound on his shoulder. He roared like an injured beast, turned around and struck out with his palm. The terrifying aura turned his back into a black hole. However, he didn't hit Lin Xian and appeared in another direction again. Another sword. Azura sword technique, second sword. The shocking sword light was even more terrifying. Yun Hai roared. This time it pierced through his body, but it didn't pierce his heart. After the second sword, the third sword came again. This time, it pierced towards his forehead. He roared crazily and blocked with both hands, striking out with terrifying power. Half of his body was holy, and the other half was dark. However, under the sword his arms were cut off, and his whole body retreated. There was a crack between his eyebrows. It almost split his head in half. The 3 sword strikes in a row happened in an instant. When everyone reacted, they saw that Yun Hai was seriously injured and had retreated. It was too fast. Everyone was in an uproar. What kind of speed was this? What kind of sword technique was this? It was a one-hit kill. It was terrifying to the extreme. At the same time, the people of the Phoenix clan were also amazed. This Yun Hai was truly extraordinary. Even the experts of the older generation had died several times in his killing spree. Moreover, this Yun Hai was not ordinary at all. Yun Hai was only injured, and his life wasn't in danger. They had to admit that the opponent was indeed very strong. Yun Hai felt the pain from his body, and he roared crazily. The blood in his body burned, quickly healing his injuries. He found that these injuries had an indestructible power that was difficult to erase. Damn it! Within his bloodline, extremely powerful runes appeared and forcefully healed his broken body. His face became incomparably pale. He didn't expect that healing his injured body would consume so much of his strength. This was too inconceivable. Even if he was severely injured by a saint, it shouldn't be so difficult for him to recover. There was a problem with this person's swordsmanship. Then they turned into a Tai Chi diagram and charged forward. Tai Chi turned into yin and yang, colliding with heaven and hell. Millions of thunder rumbled. A storm formed between heaven and earth, and countless people retreated frantically. At the same time, they widened their eyes. Did he block it? How was that possible? The people of the Twin of Destiny clan were stunned. They couldn't believe it. The people of the Thunder clan were also stunned. This time, Lin Xian didn't escape. The people of the Phoenix clan and the Heavenly Rock clan were also shocked. What was that? The power of yin and yang. He actually condensed a yin-yang diagram. They were too shocked. The power of yin and yang, the original power of heaven and earth turned into yin and yang. Shouldn't it be Kun Pengzi? Why was it Lin Xian? This guy actually had such a unique skill. Flawless 100 Miles gritted his teeth. This kind of power, when he fought with him before, the other party didn't use it at all. In other words, the other party didn't use all his strength before. He gritted his teeth. On the other side, Feng Jiu's eyes also burst out with a cold light. Had another super powerful trump card appeared? Lin Wuti not only had the aura of the dragon, but also the power of yin and yang. The Phoenix clan leader also narrowed her eyes. She was shocked. Now she understood why Lin Xian wanted to attack the 4 Dharma Laksana avatars. The other party wanted to use the power of the good and evil twins to improve his yin-yang diagram. Between heaven and earth, hell and heaven were blocked. The yin-yang diagram kept spinning with a mysterious aura. Although it was small, the light it emitted was terrifying. I've said it before. You can't do anything to me. Lin Xian's indifferent voice sounded. On the opposite side, Yunhai's expression was ferocious. His eyes were red as he stared at the Tai Chi diagram. Chapter 5135. Damn it! The power of yin and yang. Yunhai was extremely ferocious. He couldn't understand how his opponent could control such power. I can't accept this. His crazy anger and bloodline power burst out, enveloping heaven and hell. The heavenly hall gradually condensed into the shape of an angel, which grabbed forward. On the other side, hell also turned into a Grim Reaper and moved quickly. The angel's palm and the Grim Reaper's palm grabbed the yin-yang diagram and wanted to tear it apart. The power of yin and yang is the ancestor of the Destiny clan. How can you fight with me? I'll prove to you that you're vulnerable in front of me. Break for me. Yunhai roared crazily, and his terrifying aura tore the whole world apart. The yin-yang diagram shook violently as if it would break at any time. Lin Xian snorted, and an extremely terrifying light burst out from his eyes. Just you? Well, I'll let you see my true strength today. Lin Xian circulated the dragon soul aura in his body. Open. With a roar, the yin-yang diagram slowly opened. Great, it was torn apart. The Destiny twins sneered. This time, Lin Xian's foundation was damaged. The other people's scalps went numb. Could it be that Lin Wuti was defeated in the battle of yin and yang? It seemed to be the case. The people of the Tianpeng clan shook their heads and sighed. If they wanted to compete with the Destiny clan, only the real Kunpeng clan could compete with them. Unless Kunpengzi came, he could suppress Yunhai. Feng Jiu frowned, and Murong Qingqing and the others were also nervous. However, at this time, Murong Qingqing laughed, and the others widened their eyes. They found that Lin Xian was not injured, and the yin-yang diagram was not broken. Instead, there was a shocking change. On one side, endless light bloomed, and the flames of the 9 heavens condensed into a figure. Wearing golden armor and holding a golden sword, he turned into a yang god. On the other side, the aura of death was monstrous, and it condensed into a black spear. It turned into a yin god. Kill! Lin Xian formed a seal behind him. The yang god roared, holding the 9 yang divine sword, and attacked the archangel. On the other side, Yin Xin wielded the spear of death and charged towards death god. The 4 phantoms fought fiercely between heaven and earth. The power of yin and yang erupted and swept through the 9 heavens. All sorts of laws danced in the air, and the terrifying radiance caused the world to tumble. Everyone was stunned when they saw this scene. How was this possible? The members of the Twin of Destiny clan couldn't believe it. Even their patriarch had gone crazy. The only reason they could do this was because they had the good and evil twins. What right does the other party have? Could it be that the other party also had this bloodline? Even Yunyu was dumbfounded. At this moment, a sense of fear emerged in his heart. The more time she spent with Lin Xian, the more she found him to be unfathomable. It was as if even gods could not contend against him. Damn it, Yun Hai urged the Archangel and the Grim Reaper to attack wildly. However, the Yang God and the Yin God were even more terrifying. Lin Xian had devoured the power of the 4 Dharma manifestations. The yin-yang laws were extremely terrifying. In addition, the Yang God and the Yin God were originally evolved from the power of the great dragon Sword Soul. His every move was filled with boundless power. The two sides exchanged over 100 moves, and the 9-yang divine sword split the Archangel apart with a single slash. On the other side, the spear of death had also pierced through the Grim Reaper. Had the outcome been decided? Countless people exclaimed. Yun Hai kept vomiting blood. Her face turned pale, and cracks appeared on her body. Had she lost? Damn it! Lin Xian strode over and slapped her away. He said, coldly, "You're no match for me at all. Who do you think you are to shout at me? Do you have the right to challenge me?" As he spoke, he threw out punches, continuously. The 6-path fist forced the other party to keep retreating. Damn it! How dare you! The Destiny Clan's patriarch roared crazily when he saw this scene. He took a step forward, and a terrifying aura pressed down. As the patriarch of a clan, his strength was terrifying. At this moment, the surrounding spectators couldn't help but kneel on the ground. Oh no, is the Destiny Clan going to attack? Countless, terrified voices were heard. On the Phoenix Clan's side, Murong Qingqing hurriedly looked at the Old Phoenix. Old Phoenix sighed, "It's best if you don't interfere in the battle of the young." His voice carried a terrifying aura, causing the pressure in the sky to disappear. Who dares to interfere? The Destiny Clan's patriarch roared and turned his head. The next moment he saw an old man. His soul shook. "It's you!" Damn it, the other party actually invited the Old Phoenix of the Phoenix Clan. This made him feel like he was facing a great enemy. The Crimson Dragon also jumped out. "Destiny Clan, you were the one who set the challenge. Why are you slapping your own face now?" The Toad sneered. "It was a one-on-one battle. If the young can't do it, the old will come out? Do you think we're not prepared?" A cold laugh was heard. The members of the Twin of Destiny Clan were so angry that they were about to vomit blood. Yun Hai also angrily shouted, "Father, don't interfere. I'll do it myself. I haven't lost yet." As soon as these words came out, the surrounding people were shocked. Haven't lost yet? Does Yun Hai still have the strength to fight? Yun Hai roared, and the good and evil phantom condensed again. The others were also amazed. It was too terrifying. Only the Twins of Destiny had such combat prowess. He's still not dead after suffering such serious injuries. The people of the Thunder Clan shook their heads. The Destiny Twins would only die if they died at the same time. Otherwise, they were immortal. It was impossible for Lin Wuti to kill the other party. On the contrary, if Yun Hai was really determined to exhaust Lin Xian, he might really be able to turn the tables. Lin Xian snorted coldly. "Why, not admitting defeat? Then I'll kill you until you admit defeat." He continued to urge the Yin God and Yang God to kill. "Damn it, I don't believe that you're stronger than me." Yun Hai gritted his teeth. The other party was only a holy king, and he was a mid-stage great sage. Their combat strength was about the same, but their cultivation bases were much weaker. And this difference in cultivation bases, that was the difference in strength. The other party's combat strength was stronger than his, but the time he could last was definitely much shorter than his. This was the difference in cultivation bases. He could exhaust the other party to death. But this time he was really wrong. He didn't know that Lin Xian had a powerful world in his body that provided resources. It could be said that his strength would never be exhausted. Just like that, Yunhai was chased for 3 days. The good and evil ones had been destroyed hundreds of times. Lin Xian's Yang God and Yin God aura didn't weaken at all. Yunhai went crazy. Damn it, how was this possible? How could the other party have so much strength? Not to mention him, the surrounding powerhouses couldn't believe it. Bailey Wuck and Feng Jiu also frowned. Did Lin Wudi secretly take a pill? They carefully observed every detail, but didn't find anything. It seems that you have no more trump cards. Then I'll send you on your way. Lin Xian's eyes bloomed with a terrifying light. He was ready to end this battle. Damn it. Who said that I have no trump cards? I'll let you see my greatest trump card. Chapter 5136. Twin Souls. Yunhai's body was stained with blood, but his eyes were unusually cold. A terrifying bloodline power surged out. The good and evil twins had completely materialized at this moment. Heavens, what did he summon? Countless people were shocked. Twin souls. In the distance, Yun Yu also exclaimed. He actually obtained such an inheritance. Morong Qingqing said, "Is it very powerful?" Yun Yu's expression was cold. This was the method of the Fate Ancestor. It was equivalent to borrowing the power of the Fate Ancestor from afar. As soon as these words came out, Morong Qingqing's face became incomparably solemn. The Crimson Dragon and the toad next to him also had cold expressions. This was already very dangerous. One had to know that now that they couldn't use weapons, it was equivalent to not being able to use many of their trump cards. Now that the other party had used such a powerful technique, it was really dangerous. Why do I feel like that good and evil statue seems to have come to life? There's actually the aura of souls on it. The surrounding powerhouses were also shocked. The powerhouses of the Heavenly Rock clan and the Phoenix clan also gasped. This method was too incredible. The Destiny twins were so excited that they were about to kneel on the ground. Great, they felt the message of the Fate Ancestor. The Fate Ancestor had descended from afar. Yunhai also felt a powerful force. This force had completely surpassed his own. He laughed wildly. "Kid, go to hell." He slapped out with his palm. Monstrous power swept across heaven and earth. The two figures that were summoned behind him were like two real great sages. They were extremely powerful. They rose into the air and charged forward. In an instant, Lin Xian spat out blood and flew backward. Even the Yin and Yang spirits he summoned were torn apart in an instant. He was injured. Lin Wudi was injured. Countless voices of discussion sounded. Morong Qingqing and the others were extremely nervous. "Brat, did you see that? Do you think you can withstand my true trump card? Now go to hell for me." Yunhai slapped out again. The monstrous laws were incomparably violent. Lin Xian's pupils shrank, and he quickly retreated. The place where he was originally standing instantly shattered, and he vomited another mouthful of blood. It's over. This time, Lin Wudi was really in danger. The surrounding people could see that after using the Gemini souls, they were all shocked. Yunhai had already used a powerful force from the alternate dimension. Although it wasn't his own power, it didn't violate the rules. The rules only stated that weapons could not be used, but they did not say that summoning powers could not be used. Just like that, Yunhai continued to attack and began to chase after Lin Xian. He laughed out loud like a victor. The members of the Twin of Destiny clan also laughed. It was only a matter of time before Lin Wudi fell. Yunhai was just playing a game of cat and mouse. Another palm shot out. It was like a raging wave crashing against the shore. The rumbling sound spread out for a long time. Lin Xian retreated. The indestructible longevity war armor appeared on his body to repair itself. "It's useless, kid. Stop resisting. You're no match for me." Kneel down obediently and I'll give you a quick death. Lin Xian's expression was cold, but then he smiled. Twin souls? It's not your power at all. So what? I can summon this power, and he is mine. If you have the ability, you can summon it too. Otherwise, I'll let you know what regret is. Do you think I won't? Lin Xian snorted coldly. Next, I'll let you experience what a real summon is. He formed a seal with his palms, and the demonic energy on his body quickly swept out. Yunhai was stunned, then he laughed out loud. Who do you think you are? You don't have a powerful family. You don't have an ancestor. So where can you summon power? The others were also puzzled. What was this guy trying to do? The members of the Twin of Destiny clan also snorted disdainfully. In their opinion, no matter what the other party did, he couldn't escape death. The demonic energy on Lin Xian's body became more and more terrifying. It condensed behind him, forming a shadow. The shadow was very blurry, but as soon as it appeared, it erupted with an ancient and mysterious aura. It caused the surrounding sky to collapse and the earth to crack. Even the virtuous child and the evil child let out a roar. Their expressions became extremely uneasy. What kind of power was this? The members of the Twin of Destiny clan roared crazily. They felt that something was wrong. Yunhai's pupils also shrank. Damn it! He knew that he had underestimated the other party. The other party could actually summon a mysterious existence. He absolutely wouldn't allow the other party to use this power. With an angry roar, it rushed over like a bolt of lightning. The good twin's body bloomed with light, causing the sun in the sky to lose its brilliance. He held the scepter in his hand and struck out a shocking blow. On the other side, the evil twin also charged over. The aura on it made people's hearts tremble. The terrifying power made people despair. The strongest attack, destroy it for me. Yunhai roared angrily. In an instant, he arrived in front of Lin Xian. Two kinds of power enveloped Lin Xian. Lin Xian snorted coldly, and the demonic shadow behind him moved. He stretched out a finger and pointed forward. That finger instantly materialized. Boom! With the point of his finger, the sky collapsed and the earth cracked. A heaven-shaking sound rang out, and the void in front and around instantly shattered. It turned into darkness. The good twin and the evil twin were sent flying, and endless cracks appeared on their bodies. Then they collapsed. Yunhai was pierced through by the finger, and a bloody hole appeared on his body. He kept screaming in the air. The surrounding spectators were shocked when they saw this scene, especially the Destiny clan, who couldn't believe it. How is this possible? Yun Haidong was using the power of the Destiny clan's ancestor. Although there was only a little, the twin souls were extremely terrifying. Even a saint couldn't resist it. However, the other party had managed to block it and even managed to shatter it. How did he do it? The Destiny clan leader gritted his teeth and roared. Impossible. What was that demonic shadow behind the other party? No, I don't believe it. I won't lose. Yunhai roared. His expression was ferocious. Could it be that he was still defeated after using his strongest trump card? He charged forward again. The demonic shadow behind Lin Xian attacked again. Demonic God Seal. A huge seal attacked and completely suppressed him. He was suppressed in the sky by a huge black mountain. He roared crazily and wanted to escape. However, Lin Xian attacked again. The demonic shadow behind him once again struck out with the demonic god finger and pointed at his forehead. This demonic shadow was too terrifying. Yunhai was summoned by force, and it was the power of the Destiny clan's ancestor. But Lin Xian's demon summoning scripture was even more mysterious. No matter how powerful the Destiny clan's ancestor was, he wasn't a great emperor. And the demon summoning scripture was created by a great emperor. Lin Xian guessed that the demonic shadow behind him was most likely the phantom of a great emperor. The power of a great emperor was absolutely supreme. Therefore, under this finger, Yunhai lost his life completely. His body fell from the sky. Lin Xian took the other party's storage ring. As for the other party's power, it was also swallowed by him with the Taiji diagram. Chapter 5137. Everyone was shocked when Yunhai was destroyed. The twin of Destiny clan went crazy. They couldn't accept this result. Yunhai had received the inheritance of the ancestor and possessed the twin souls, but he still died. What exactly was this thing that Lin Wuti summoned? Damn it, was he already so terrifying? The people of the Thunder clan went crazy. The people of the Heavenly Punk clan sucked in a breath of cold air. Even the Phoenix clan had a solemn expression. The Crimson Dragon and the others laughed out loud. The Toad jumped out and said, "How is it? Weren't you very arrogant before? How dare you challenge us? Now continue." The Crimson Dragon sneered. An ant was an ant. Even if it was summoned, the power that didn't belong to it was still unable to withstand a single blow. The corner of Murong Qingqing's mouth raised into a smile. Great, Brother Xian was fine. She was relieved. Yunyu was shocked. Even the twin souls couldn't do anything to the other party. This time he felt despair. He was afraid that he wouldn't be able to defeat the other party, even if he cultivated for the rest of his life. Damn it! You dare to hurt our young patriarch. On the side of the twin of Destiny clan, a few elders were instantly enraged. They rushed over. Lin Xian shouted coldly. The demonic shadow behind him hadn't disappeared yet. He pointed out a finger. It was like a demonic sword descending. Instantly, the sky collapsed and the earth cracked. The two elders vomited blood and flew out. Their bodies shattered and turned into a bloody mist. Lin Xian snorted coldly. "If you want to die, I'll fulfill your wish." A cold voice sounded. The people of the Destiny clan trembled in despair. Were their elders unable to withstand a single blow? The two elders were even more terrified. Previously, they had only seen this finger. Now that they had personally experienced it, they trembled in fear. However, the Destiny clan leader stood up. "Lin Wuti, you dare to kill my son. Go to hell." He was really crazy. The previous attack was so fast that he didn't even have time to react. Moreover, he never thought that Yunhai would die. One had to know that even if Yunhai was defeated, it was impossible for him to die with the twin souls. So now that Yunhai had died, he couldn't bear it. By the time he reacted, it was already too late. He could only kill the brat in front of him to avenge Yunhai. Taking a step forward, the power on his body exploded and swept across the 9 heavens and 10 earths. The surrounding people felt their scalps go numb. Their heads were about to split open. They were terrified. Was the Fate clan leader going to make a move himself? That was the head of a clan. His strength far surpassed Yunhai's. Lin Xian also felt a chill run down his spine. Even if he had the devil shadow behind him, he still wouldn't be able to compete with the Fate tribe's appearance. Murong Qingqing's expression changed. He looked at the old phoenix. The old phoenix walked out and waved her hand. An ancient phoenix phantom covered the sky and blocked the other party's aura of destiny. He said coldly, "As the leader of a clan, how could you be so despicable?" The previous duel had been a fair one. Yunhai's death could only be attributed to his inferior skills. If you want to make a move and break the rules, you have to ask for my permission first. The old phoenix's voice was abnormally terrifying. The Fate clan leader was instantly frozen. He gritted his teeth. Do you think it won't die if I don't do anything?" He was definitely going to die today. The Fate clan leader waved his hand. The wind and clouds in all directions shattered, and 100 figures appeared. A holy angel and 99 hunters surrounded Lin Xian from all directions. Feeling the terrifying aura around them, the surrounding people felt their scalps go numb. They didn't expect such a terrifying existence to exist. The people of the Heavenly Rock clan exclaimed. Fate adjudication, they really came. The others were shocked when they heard it. They had already guessed that the Fate clan wouldn't let this matter rest. Now that they had brought along fate adjudication, it was an invincible force. Even a sage wouldn't be able to escape death. Now that fate adjudication had made a move, could Lin Xian withstand it? How dare you? The old phoenix roared and was about to make a move. However, the Fate clan leader said, I respect you as a senior. Since you're holding me back, I'll be your opponent. An extremely terrifying phantom appeared from his body and blocked the old phoenix. Fate adjudication's actions were too fast. It made a move in an instant. A holy angel's light and 99 death scythes covered the sky and the earth. Everyone was stunned. It's over. This Lin Wuti is definitely going to die. Lin Xian snorted coldly. With a boom, an earth-shattering sound rang out. 3 vortexes appeared around him and surrounded him to absorb the energy. However, he was still forced back and his blood was boiling. It's useless. Lin Wuti, even if you have the devouring heaven jar, you won't be able to escape death today. The scepter in the holy angel's hand was a legendary sage weapon. At this moment, after it was activated, it had a mysterious power. The 99 hunters used their bloodline power to wield another saint artifact. They condensed into a terrifying death scythe. Lin Xian's situation was extremely dangerous. A vortex appeared around Lin Xian. It slowly disappeared. He stood in the void. Everyone was extremely excited when they saw the scene. What was going on? Did Lin Wuti give up on using the devouring heaven jar? Could it be that he knew that he was going to die? Ha! The people of the Fate clan sneered. This time, they must tear the other party into pieces. The devouring heaven jar was theirs. Lin Xian's voice was cold. Fate's judgment, punishing others, controlling their fate? I want to see if you can control my fate. An extremely terrifying aura burst out from Lin Xian's eyes. On his body, a Tai Chi diagram appeared and kept spinning. The good and evil aura of the Sea of Clouds was also absorbed by the Tai Chi diagram. Lin Xian felt that his law of yin and yang had reached a limit. With a boom, an extremely terrifying power appeared in his body. In the sky, thunderclouds gathered and emitted an extremely terrifying aura. What was going on? Everyone was stunned. They looked up at the sky. Bailey Wuck exclaimed. He was going to break through. He was going to become a supreme sage. Feng Jiu was also shocked. These top geniuses were all at the peak of the Sage King realm. No one had entered the Supreme Sage realm yet. Could it be that Lin Wuti was going to be the first to become a Supreme Sage? If that was the case, then he would be above everything. Damn it! Stop him! When the Fate clan leader saw this, he roared crazily. The holy angel waved his hand and activated the powerful holy scepter. The other people crazily activated the death scythe and slashed down mercilessly. At this moment, a thunderbolt streaked across the sky and directly struck the holy scepter and the death scythe. The holy angel and 99 hunters were also sent flying while vomiting blood. The other people's blood was boiling. Many of them directly knelt on the ground. What was going on? At this moment, even the Heavenly Rock clan leader and the Phoenix clan leader's expression changed drastically. They felt a fatal threat. The Phoenix clan leader's pupils shrank. The Fate clan leader was even more shocked. What was going on? Chapter 5138. There was an extremely terrifying power between heaven and earth. It was as if an ancient beast had been resurrected. The terrifying aura sent chills down everyone's spine. At this moment, they looked up at the sky and saw lightning gathering. Not good. He was going to break through. Someone was going to pass the tribulation. Roars of anger could be heard. It was definitely none other than Lin Xian. Was he going to pass the tribulation at this time? Stop him! The Destiny clan leader roared. The Holy Angel and 99 hunters attacked crazily. They used their ultimate killing moves. However, at this moment, The sky suddenly turned red like a sea of blood. A red lightning bolt fell directly, and everyone was sent flying while vomiting blood. There were even more than a dozen hunters who were instantly turned into a bloody mist. What was going on? Everyone was stunned. The Phoenix clan leader's face changed drastically. The red lightning was heaven's punishment. Damn it, let's go. He waved his hand and led the Phoenix clan to retreat crazily. He was not the only one. The Sky Rock clan leader and the other experts who were watching the battle all retreated. Lightning tribulation and heaven's punishment were two different things. Lightning tribulation was the heaven's punishment during the tribulation. It was produced by the heavenly Tao. It was the most powerful punishment in the entire universe. Those who attracted heaven's punishment would definitely die. They were people who could not be tolerated by heaven and earth. Damn it! How could it be heaven's punishment? The Destiny clan leader was also dumbfounded. He no longer dared to fight against the old Phoenix. He led his people to retreat crazily. The old Phoenix also retreated far away, his brows tightly knitted together. He really could not understand. How could a top genius like Lin Wudi, a young great emperor, attract heaven's punishment? Damn it, he was going to break through. The Crimson Dragon and the others' faces changed. They were all worried for Lin Xian because they knew that Lin Xian was an abandoned immortal. Every time he broke through, he would have to accept heaven's punishment unless he entered the sword world. But now, he seemed to want to borrow the power of heaven's punishment to fight against the enemy. The old Phoenix came here and asked Murong Qingcheng. Murong Qingcheng said a few simple words. The old Phoenix was shocked. It was an abandoned immortal. That was too unbelievable. A person who had been abandoned by immortals was actually able to reach this step. The Phoenix clan leader was not in the mood to care about these things right now. She quickly left with her people. Murong Qingcheng was worried. The old Phoenix said, "You said that he has a way. If you stay here, you will attract divine punishment. Leave quickly." Murong Qingcheng nodded. She knew that Lin Xian had a way to deal with sky law. Therefore, he also retreated and left. At this moment, everyone around the heaven-battling peak had disappeared. Within 10 million miles, not a single human figure could be seen. Those demonic beasts also fled one after another. Everyone was watching from afar. However, what was surprising was that after the initial explosion of the heavenly punishment's terrifying power, it gradually weakened. Everyone was stunned. What was going on? Could it be that Lin Wudi was killed by a single bolt of divine punishment? They didn't understand, but no one dared to go. There was still a trace of thundercloud left in the sky, as if it was looking for a target. If they went over at this time, they would immediately be beaten to death. Therefore, everyone was waiting. In the void below sky law, Lin Xian had already disappeared. A black vortex swallowed him. Lin Xian entered the sword world and dodged the attack of sky law. After entering, he began to break through with all his strength. This time, there was no lightning in the sky. Instead, flames appeared in all directions. It appeared on his body out of thin air and burned him. Lin Xian was shocked. What was going on? What were these flames? He felt that they were countless times stronger than his 9-yang divine fire. It caused his 9-yang divine body to crack in an instant. The Hell Fire Dragon saw this and quickly retreated. He shouted from afar, "Brat, hang in there. This is called tribulation fire." It was the same as lightning tribulation. Why was there no lightning tribulation? Lin Xian was confused. He resisted and asked, "What do you know?" The Hellfire Dragon said, "It has something to do with the world you are in. The specific explanation is too long. I guess you don't have the patience to listen. You know that when you reach the level of Great Sage and enter this world, it will be tribulation fire after you break through." Lin Xian could no longer hear anything because the pain from the flames was so intense that he was about to faint. Damn it. He didn't expect that breaking through to Great Sage would be such a terrifying tribulation. He roared crazily and blocked with all his strength. One moment, the law on his body was overflowing, and the next moment, the terrifying devil chi swept through. Sword chi swept through. At this moment, the sword world was really changing. The last flame completely enveloped Lin Xian's body. Lin Xian's 9-yang divine body was broken. However, when a new body was condensed, it bloomed with a crystal-clear radiance. An even more terrifying flame aura filled the air. This shocked Lin Xian. This tribulation, fire, lasted for half a year. Lin Xian's body experienced countless breakdowns. Finally, on this day, the tribulation fire disappeared. His body was completely recovered. The aura on his body became extremely terrifying. He broke through. In such a short time, the Hellfire Dragon was surprised. In his imagination, it would take at least 3 years. But now, it was completed in just half a year. The 4 spirit beasts of the 4 Spirit Valley were even more shocked. What a terrifying aura! Why do I feel a wave of divine might? Their bodies began to sway. Lin Xian also raised the corner of his mouth. He now felt that he had unlimited power with just a raise of his hand. Right now, his fighting strength was more than 10 times that of before. In other words, his previous opponents, such as Yunhai and Bailiwick, if they did not improve, they would not be his opponent at all. He could easily kill them. He could even fight against the Holy Lord without any problems. This was the increase in strength brought to him by the breakthrough of his realm. Great! Lin Xian was overjoyed. It seemed that he could return to the sacred origin ancient city. Long Huangzi, just you wait. I will personally take care of you. If the Dragon Prince did not break through, then he would have already surpassed the Dragon Prince. Thinking of this, Lin Xian's figure flashed and walked out of the sword world. When he came out, the aura on his body changed. It was no longer so terrifying. Instead, it had weakened a lot. It seemed to be weaker than the average great sage. What was going on? Lin Xian was surprised. The Hellfire Dragon's voice came out. It's normal. The outside world is a lightning tribulation. You're going through a fire tribulation. These are 2 different paths. So, your aura in the outside world will become different. What about your strength? Lin Xian asked. His strength would not be suppressed, right? The Hellfire Dragon said. Don't worry, his strength was not suppressed. Hearing this, Lin Xian heaved a sigh of relief. His strength did not change. It was just a change in his aura. There was no problem at all. Let's go. His figure flashed, and he flew towards the Phoenix clan. Now he was going to meet up with Morong Qingqing and the others. The divine punishment in the sky also slowly disappeared. The people thousands of miles away were shocked. Half a year had passed. The experts and patriarchs of the various sects had all returned. However, every clan and sect had sent some people to investigate here. Once there was a change here, they would immediately report it. Now, these people who were in charge of investigating were shocked. The divine punishment disappeared, and someone walked out. Chapter 5139. What? Someone came out? Heavens, who is it? They looked carefully and were shocked. It's Lin Wudi. He didn't die. He actually came back alive. Quickly report to the family. These people were extremely shocked and quickly left. They wanted to personally report this news to the family. Half a year ago, Yunhai and Lin Wudi fought at the peak of the battle. Lin Wudi killed Yunhai, but immediately after, he attracted heaven's punishment. Then, millions of miles of space became a forbidden area. No one dared to cross the line. This news naturally spread. In half a year, the entire Yuheng continent knew about it. Even the people in Holy Abyss Ancient City knew about the situation. They were extremely worried. Some people sneered. Encountering heaven's punishment meant death. People like Dragon Palace and Blue Clan heaved a sigh of relief. Linwoody finally fell. On Yuhan Continent's side, the people of Lei Dong Clan sneered. The people of Destiny Clan gritted their teeth. Although Linwoody is dead, they also lost Yunhai. He was the young master of the clan. More importantly, Lin Xian's fall had nothing to do with them. They couldn't get anything from Lin Xian's body, especially the extreme weapon and cultivation technique inheritance. Those were all things that made them jealous. But now, all of them were buried in heaven's punishment. No one dared to take them. They constantly sent people to investigate. As soon as heaven's punishment disappeared, they would send their strongest forces to snatch the extreme weapon devouring heaven's jar. In fact, they weren't the only ones. The other clans also had their eyes on the devouring heaven's jar. Once they got the extreme weapon, they would have the qualifications to challenge the monarch clans and become the true overlords of the universe. On this day, news finally came back. The people who went to investigate came back personally. Clan leader, there's news. Destiny Clan's people landed and roared crazily. Destiny Clan leader came out with a group of elders. How was it? Did heaven's punishment disappear? The sage nodded crazily and disappeared. Heaven's punishment disappeared. That's great. Destiny Clan leader's eyes burst out with a sharp light. Let's go. This time, I want to snatch the devouring heavens jar personally. The surrounding elders formed seals and summoned the strong ones. However, the sage shook his head. No, clan leader, you can't go. What's wrong? Has it been taken by someone else? Destiny Clan leader frowned. Who is it that moved so quickly? The sage said that the divine punishment had disappeared, but Linwoody had not died. He had walked out alive. What did you say? The Fate Clan leader was stunned, and so were the others. Linwoody didn't die? How was this possible? The Fate Clan's clan leader grabbed the saint's neck and roared madly. He attracted the wrath of the heavens, and you say he didn't die? The saint was so scared that he started crying. He said in a trembling voice, I don't know either, but the people we left there to investigate all saw it. Linwoody walked out alive. The other families should have received the news by now. Damn it, how could it be like this? The Fate Clan leader roared crazily as the 9 heavens and 10 earths shattered. He was really mad. His son had fallen, but the other party was still alive? Not only the Fate Clan, but the Thunder Clan and the Divine Fire Clan were also shocked when they heard the news. None of them believed it. When the Heavenly Rock race received the news, they were even more shocked. Bailey Wuck's eyes shone with a positive light. The other party was still alive. So how did he avoid the heavenly punishment? Damn it. Did he break through and become a great sage? The Heavenly Rock Guard said. He wasn't sure as he was too far away, but he didn't feel a strong aura. Maybe he didn't break through. The Heavenly Rock Race leader also said that if he didn't break through, then he might really be able to avoid the heavenly punishment. But then he wouldn't be able to advance for the rest of his life. Wuck, you are different from him. Although you lost to him last time, your future is bright. You just need some time to break through and become a great sage. You might even reach the peak of the great sage realm, and he will always be a sage king. The gap between the two of you will get bigger and bigger. It won't be long before you can trample him under your feet. That's right. Hearing this, Bailey Wuck clenched his fists. Yes, the other party couldn't break through anymore, but he could continue to advance. The gap between them would get bigger and bigger. Just wait. He would break through and become a great sage as soon as possible. When the Phoenix Clan received the news, they didn't dare to believe it. Are you sure he came back alive? The Phoenix Clan leader was shocked. That's right. The guard who came to report nodded. What else did the Phoenix Clan leader want to say? At this moment, the guard guarding the mountain gate rushed over and said, reporting to the clan leader, someone is here. Who is it? The Phoenix Clan leader asked. The guard said, it's Linwoody. What? Did you say he's here? The Phoenix Clan leader was shocked. Quickly go and invite him over. At the same time, he quickly sent a notice. The elders who informed him, Feng Jiu, Murong Qingcheng, and the old phoenix. These people all knew about it. Feng Jiu was stunned when she heard about it. Really? She hurried over. Murong Qingcheng was overjoyed. He was so excited that he was about to cry. Great, Brother Xian was fine. The old phoenix also found it unbelievable. Was there really a way to avoid the heavenly punishment? He also wanted to see it with his own eyes. For a moment, everyone gathered in the Phoenix main hall. While they were waiting anxiously, a figure walked over. He was wearing a black robe and had a handsome face. His expression was calm, and there was a confident smile on his face. That's right, Lin Wudi. It was this guy. Countless Phoenix clan powerhouses were in an uproar. The roof of the main hall was about to be overturned. The old phoenix came in front of Lin Xian like lightning. She grabbed Lin Xian and looked at him carefully. Are you really still alive? The Phoenix clan leader also came in person. An extremely cold aura erupted from his eyes. How did you avoid the heavenly punishment? Wait, that's not right. Your aura isn't that of a supreme sage. Could it be that you haven't broken through? As soon as these words came out, everyone was in an uproar. They had been so shocked by the fact that Lin Xian was still alive that they had forgotten to check his cultivation level. Now that they looked carefully, they realized that his cultivation was very strange. It was a little mysterious, but it was completely different from the supreme sage aura that they knew. After thinking about it, they realized that he hadn't broken through to the supreme sage realm. Could it be that he hadn't broken through and was here to avoid the heavenly punishment? Feng Jiu also walked over. Lin Xian looked at these people and said, It's a long story. You can think of it that way too. He couldn't explain it. What should he say? He had broken through to the supreme sage realm? This way, he couldn't explain it clearly. So he hadn't broken through. Feng Jiu heaved a sigh of relief. The Phoenix clan leader and the others were also relieved. If he had broken through and still avoided the heavenly punishment, it would be too terrifying. If he hadn't broken through, it would be understandable. At the same time, they frowned slightly. If that was the case, wouldn't it mean that he could only be a supreme sage for the rest of his life and couldn't break through? It seemed that this was the end of the road for this genius. Thinking of this, many people shook their heads. Even Feng Yu's eyes lit up. Would this young man still be qualified to be on equal footing with her in the future? Chapter 5140. There was a hint of disappointment in the Phoenix clan leader's eyes. This was the end of the young supreme being with no future. He didn't need to pay too much attention to it. Therefore, the gathering ended quickly, and everyone left the Phoenix main hall. Lin Xian didn't care. He followed Murong Qingcheng and the others back to his territory. Murong Qingcheng threw herself into Lin Xian's arms. Lin Xian smiled and comforted her. I'm back safely. Young master, did you really not break through? Can't you break through in the future? Yunyue asked. She had been here all this time. The Crimson Dragon said, How could it be? If this kid didn't break through, he wouldn't be smiling so happily. The toad also said, Show us your strength. The old phoenix was also there. She looked at Lin Xian with flickering eyes. Qingcheng said, You have a way. Do you really have a way? Lin Xian looked at the old phoenix with a complicated expression. Murong Qingcheng said, It's okay. Master is on our side. Lin Xian nodded and said, I did break through to the great sage. It's just that there are some changes in my aura. As for the specifics, I can't explain it. Breakthrough. Hearing this, Yunyue was shocked. The old phoenix was also surprised. Why? You don't believe me? Lin Xian looked at Yunyue and said, Attack me with all your strength. Yunyue said, Really? Lin Xian said, Don't worry. Okay, then I won't hold back. Yunyue shouted angrily and attacked with both palms. One side was sacred and the other was demonic. This was an all-out attack. Even a great sage, intermediate, wouldn't be able to withstand it. However, Lin Xian stood there unmoved. With a clang, Yun Yue was pushed back. Her arms were numb. However, Lin Xian's body didn't have a single crack. How could it be? Yun Yue couldn't believe it. The old phoenix's pupils shrank. What a strong physique. You did break through. That's right. Lin Xian laughed. With a wave of his hand, the yin-yang image appeared and shrouded Yun Yue. Yun Yue was shrouded in an instant. How could this be? She felt despair. Previously, although she had lost to Lin Xian, she had only been suppressed after exchanging over 1,000 blows. But now her opponent was able to suppress her with a single move. If the other party wanted to kill her, wouldn't he be able to do it with just a finger? The other party had really broken through. It was too terrifying. Yun Yue lowered her head. From now on, she would respect young master. Although she was also a top genius, she was nothing more than an ant in front of Lin Xian. Lin Xian withdrew the yin-yang diagram and nodded. Old Phoenix also sighed. It seems that they have underestimated you. Even this old man has underestimated you, young master. I don't have any other requests now. I just hope that in the future, even if you and Feng Jiu become enemies, you can show mercy and spare her life in the end. Lin Xian nodded. Senior, don't worry. I won't kill Feng Jiu. That's good. Old Phoenix was also relieved. She could already foresee the expressions of the top geniuses, princes, and princesses when Lin Xian showed his true strength. She had previously guessed which disciple had entered the great saint realm in advance, but she didn't expect it to be the young man in front of her. Senior, I hope you can keep the matter of my breakthrough a secret, because I have to return to deal with a powerful enemy. I don't want him to get the news in advance and escape. Don't worry, this old man understands. We won't interfere too much in the affairs of young people like you. Then old Phoenix left. Lin Xian and Murong Qingqing gathered together. The two of them had endless things to say. Outside there was a storm. Did you hear? Lin Wuti didn't die. He came back alive. What? The final winner was Lin Wuti. Yes, he was really too powerful. Had he broken through to the great saint realm? Then, who among the younger generation could be his opponent? No, according to reliable sources, Lin Wuti's aura was still that of a great saint. He didn't break through. No wonder. I was wondering how he could avoid the heavenly punishment. It turned out that he didn't break through. Can he still break through in the future? It's difficult. It's said that his path has come to an end. Voices of discussion rang out one after another. The news spread across the Yuhun continent. Countless people were talking about it. Some people sighed. Lin Wuti would probably become a part of history. When this news spread to wholly distant ancient city, countless people exclaimed in surprise. The people of the Dragon Palace gritted their teeth. Damn it, this kid didn't die. But soon they sneered. He was abandoned by the immortal realm. The heavenly punishment threatened him. He could forget about breaking through in this lifetime. Ha! The people of the Blue Tribe laughed. They saw hope. As long as the Dragon Prince broke through and became a great saint, killing Lin Wuti would be a piece of cake. The people of the Golden Crow Tribe and Zifu Tribe sneered. It wouldn't be long before they could get rid of a peerless enemy. On the other side, the people of the Nalan family, Duga family, and Fire Dragon Tribe frowned. Was Lin Xian really stagnant? This was very bad news for them. The people of the Divine Union shook their heads frantically. It was impossible. Boss Lin must have a way. So what if he was from the immortal graveyard? Didn't Boss Lin cultivate to the Saint King realm? He must have a way to break through. Cultivation! These people clenched their fists. No matter what, they would advance and retreat with Lin Xian. In a sacred mountain range, hundreds of people were farming there. They were cultivating spiritual herbs. Those spiritual herbs were crystal clear. Each of them was priceless. If they could be taken outside, a single one of them would be enough to make countless great saints go crazy. Beside the herb field was a lake. A lady was sitting beside the lake. She was dressed in white and looked like a fairy. At this moment she was holding a scroll. Her eyes were shining. He avoided the heavenly punishment and didn't break through? This guy, he actually managed to deceive everyone in the world. This lady was none other than Yen Ryu. The news in her hand was about Lin Xian's deeds in the Yuhun continent. She knew that Lin Xian was abandoned by the immortal realm. However, she didn't believe that he hadn't broken through. It was just that the people outside didn't know. Then, Yen Ryu looked at the people who were working in the distance. These people were the only people left in the spirit zone. Yen Ryu's eyes were shining. Their ancestor was a great emperor who had received help from the spirit zone. However, they couldn't protect the spirit zone and let it be destroyed. She had sworn that she would take revenge. The 10,000 dragons' court. The dragon prince. He wouldn't let him go. Yen Ryu stood up. It seemed like it was time to make a trip. She knew that there would be a battle between Lin Xian and the dragon prince. In addition, Lin Xian would definitely kill the dragon prince because of the enmity between the Black Sea's dragon tribe and the 10,000 dragons' court. Even if Lin Xian could defeat the dragon prince after breaking through, it would be too difficult for him to kill the dragon prince. As the emperor's son, the dragon prince had an extreme weapon. Therefore, she had to join forces with Lin Xian. Chapter 50-141. Lin Xian had half an extreme Dao weapon, the heaven-swallowing jar. She also had an extreme Dao weapon. If the two of them worked together, they might have a chance of killing the dragon prince. According to the intelligence, that kid is returning. Looks like I have to hurry up and prepare. Yen Ryu turned around to prepare endless resources. She wanted to fully awaken the extreme Dao weapon and unleash a shocking attack. The Destiny Twins race also received the news. The other party didn't break through? You think you can keep your life if you don't break through? Too naive. Activate Destiny Judgment again and kill that kid with all your might. The Destiny Clan leader gave the order. Destiny Judgment was activated again. This time, it wasn't 100 people. Previously, Destiny Judgment was hit by the heavenly punishment and 20 people died. Now, only 80 people were left. But even so, it was still a super strong force. Killing a Saint King was as easy as flipping one's hand. He didn't believe that the other party would be able to attract the heavenly punishment this time. Destiny Judgment quickly moved out. On the other side, Lin Xian was living a very leisurely life. After breaking through, he wasn't in a hurry to cultivate or fight. The most important thing was to consolidate his realm. This included the realm of cultivation and the realm of mentality. Murong Qingqing had always been by his side, living a carefree and happy life. The Crimson Dragon and the Toad flew over. Kid, the whole world is talking about you now. Lin Xian put down the spirit wine and smiled. Is that so? They all thought that I didn't break through. Thinking about it, this news should have spread to Holy Abyss City. The Dragon Prince didn't have to run anymore. Just wait, I'll go back and give her a huge gift. The Crimson Dragon was excited. I thought about how the Dragon Prince was slapped to the ground by you. I can't even sleep. Let's hurry back. The Toad also roared at the side. Haha, if the Emperor was easily knocked to the ground, the eyeballs of those people from the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty would probably fall to the ground. I really want to see this scene. Murong Qingqing rolled her eyes at the two of them and said, Brother Xian, if you only defeat the Dragon Prince. That's simple. But if you want to kill him, it'll be difficult. Murong Qingqing often stayed with Feng Jiu, and the two of them had sparred before. She naturally knew how difficult it was to kill an emperor. Feng Jiu could summon an extreme weapon now, and so could the Dragon Prince. With the supreme weapon, no one could kill the Dragon Prince. Lin Xian nodded. I understand. This time, he would beat him up viciously to get his revenge. As for killing him, He would have to plan it well. Right now, I only have half an extreme-grade weapon, and that's not enough. I'm going to borrow another one. Leaf Daudenier? Morong Ching was shocked. He guessed that the Yi clan would not join forces with him. Once the Dragon Prince fell, the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty would attack like crazy. The Yi family was not willing to offend such an emperor clan. Morong Ching was also worried. Was it necessary to kill him? One should know that Lin Xian would be hunted down endlessly if the Dragon Prince died. The 10,000 Dragon Imperial Court was determined to hunt him down. Lin Xian said, "You think that if I don't kill him, he won't kill me? Once the Dragon Prince breaks through and becomes a supreme saint, he will be the first to kill me. So only one of us can live. As for the 10,000 Dragon Imperial Court's pursuit, so be it." Anyway, the path to becoming a supreme saint meant stepping on countless bones. If the 10,000 Dragon Imperial Court wants to be a stepping stone, I'll fulfill their wish. I'll go back with you. Morong Ching was worried. Don't attack first. I'll go back to Jade Pool and see if I can borrow the Desolate Tower. Lin Xian was delighted. Really? If he had the Desolate Tower, his chances of winning would be higher. But before that, there were still some people to deal with. Lin Xian's eyes were filled with killing intent. Morong Ching was stunned. Then he said, "The Destiny Clan? Do you think they will attack again?" Lin Xian said, "They definitely won't let this go. I think the Destiny Judgment is already on the way. This time, I'll destroy them completely. As for the Destiny Clan, I'll personally visit them in the future. I'll kill them." Next, Lin Xian asked the Crimson Dragon and the Toad to release the news. Even the route of their departure had been released. What he wanted was for the Destiny Judgment to find him. This was a very terrifying group of people. While the other party didn't know that he had broken through, he could catch them off guard. After staying for about half a month, Lin Xian and the others set off. The news of their departure and the route had already been released. Therefore, along the way, Lin Xian and the others were always prepared. The previous few days had been peaceful because they were in the territory of the Phoenix clan. After leaving, about 10 days later, their surroundings instantly became cold and gloomy. Countless demon-like auras appeared. An entire world seemed to have turned into Azura hell. "They're here." Morong Ching frowned. Now that they were far away from the Phoenix clan, these people finally couldn't help but make a move. The Toad snorted coldly. "Who are you? Come out." A cold voice sounded between heaven and earth. "Stupid ants, you'll all go to hell today." 80 dark figures appeared. The auras on their bodies were abnormally cold. They were like the god of death, covering the sky and earth. A holy angel descended from the sky, holding a scepter in his hand and speaking coldly. "Kneel down and accept your punishment." Destiny adjudication. Looking at this scene, Lin Xian smiled. "You guys really came out." There was a golden glow in his eyes. He looked around and said, "Are you guys the only ones? Humph, we alone are enough to deal with you. There's no need for others to do it." The holy angel spoke coldly. "You guys should be from the Destiny Clan, a powerful and mysterious force. If all of you fall, I wonder how the Destiny Clan will react?" Lin Xian's voice sounded with a trace of cold killing intent. The people of Destiny Adjudication were stunned after hearing this. Then they laughed out loud. "Stupid thing, who do you think you are? You want to fight against us, Destiny Adjudication? Even if you can kill the young master, you're not our match. Even if it was a saint, they would still die in front of us, let alone you. Cut the crap, let's do it." The holy angel waved his scepter. The surrounding people rushed over crazily. Yun Yu's expression became incomparably serious. This was the mysterious force of the clan. At this moment, they attacked with all their might. It made her hair stand on end. If it was her, she would probably be killed in an instant. The Toad and the Crimson Dragon also felt their scalps go numb. They didn't have the strength to fight against a sage now. Therefore, they naturally couldn't resist. Murong Qingqing's expression was serious. Her body flickered with a seven-colored radiance. However, Lin Xian didn't let her do it. Now that he had a breakthrough, it was a good time to test how strong he was. Come, I hope you won't disappoint me. Lin Xian walked out and looked disdainfully in all directions. Stupid thing. 80 hunters rushed over and turned into 80 peerless abilities, attacking Lin Xian. With a boom, the sky collapsed and the earth cracked. It turned into nothingness and no longer existed. Chapter 5142. It was over in one move. The holy angel sneered. The remaining hunters also had cold expressions. Their attacks were foolproof. In the sky, a huge hand tore everything apart. Lin Xian walked out. It's useless. Is this all you've got? How is this possible? The surrounding people were stunned. The holy angel was also shocked. His opponent's physique was so strong that it had surpassed that of a holy king. The corners of Lin Xian's mouth curled up into a smile when he saw their shocked expressions. The next moment he punched out. Six-path fist. It carried an aura of indomitable will. However, its power was more than 10 times stronger than before. Feeling this power, the pupils of destiny adjudications people constricted. They had seen this fist technique before. Lin Xian had used many trump cards in his battle with Yun Hai. They were all very familiar with it. But what was going on with this power? The opponent's power was much stronger than before. It was as if he was a completely different person. Boom! A heaven-shaking sound rang out. Dozens of hunters were sent flying while vomiting blood. Many of their bodies were shattered and turned into a bloody mist. The remaining people were also terrified. Damn it, this is impossible. How did you become so strong? They roared crazily. Lin Xian sneered, unmoved. Another palm strike came. In the next moment, his palm carried boundless demonic qi and turned into a demon god seal that descended from the sky. Boom, boom. An earth-shattering sound rang out. Then, dozens of hunters were sent flying while vomiting blood. This time, more than 20 hunters were directly annihilated in body and soul. They were stunned. The people of destiny adjudication couldn't believe it. The holy angel's pupils constricted. He roared crazily. Damn it, he was no longer a holy king. He had broken through. He really couldn't explain how the other party had changed so much in just half a year. The only explanation was that the other party had broken through and become a great sage. That was impossible. They had carefully checked the other party's aura. It was definitely not the aura of a great sage. Lin Xian smiled. You can't figure it out, right? Then go to hell to figure it out. He took out the great spear of destruction and quickly moved out. The light carried a destructive aura and turned into the light of the demon god, covering the sky and earth. The hunters screamed crazily and fled quickly. They quickly fled. If the other party really broke through and became a great sage, they would be able to kill him. In that case, his strength would be greatly increased and might even be more terrifying than a sage. After all, the other party had an extreme weapon. Their information was wrong. They had to hurry back to the clan and tell the news to the clan leader and the old ancestor. They sent out even more terrifying existences. Most likely, they would have to send out a pinnacle great sage to kill him. Do you want to leave? Don't you think it's already too late? Lin Xian snorted coldly. The power in his body exploded. Endless devil qi surrounded him. The power of the great dragon sword spirit also surged out and transformed into a demonic bow. Arching the bow, demonic arrows flew out, blotting out the sky and covering the earth. With a boom, several hunters were pierced through by the demonic swords and were nailed to death in the void. No matter where they ran to, Lin Xian's Tianji god eyes would be able to lock onto them. Then, he used the devil's sword to pierce through the other party. All of a sudden, a large number of hunters fell. Damn it, The sacred angel was really angry. He used all his strength and slashed down with the holy heaven scepter in his hand. It was as if he was splitting the sky and earth. The demonic swords were shattered. Lin Xian was also forced to take a step back. His arm was numb, and a cold light burst out from his eyes. It seemed that the sacred angel was the strongest among these people. But so what? Kill. He waved the great destruction spear and quickly killed his way out. At the same time, he also used the Hellfire Dragon Sword. The Shura sword technique appeared and disappeared unpredictably. The ultimate sword technique caused the sacred angel to keep retreating, and blood flowed from the corner of his mouth. Damn it! As a powerful sacred angel, when had he ever been threatened by others? But now, the other party gave him a fatal sense of danger. He didn't dare to be careless. Shura sword technique, fourth sword technique. At this time, Lin Xian finally used the fourth sword technique. Between heaven and earth, a stream of light streaked across, followed by the sacred angel's scream. Half of his body was split open, and saint blood dripped from the sky. No, the remaining hunters were stunned when they saw the scene. Even their leader was seriously injured. This was a huge blow to them. Behind them, Yun Yue was also shocked when she saw the scene. It was so terrifying. Previously, she had experienced Lin Xian's strength after his breakthrough, but at that time it was only one move. He suppressed her with one move. Now that Lin Xian had used this kind of strength consecutively, she was shocked. One had to know that Lin Xian hadn't used the power of an extreme weapon yet. He could already sweep through everything. Even if the entire Destiny Adjudicator joined forces, they wouldn't be a match for him. At this stage, the sacred angel wouldn't die so easily. But in the next moment, his face changed. His body that had just healed was split in half with a crack. The crack couldn't heal at all. What was going on? The sacred angel was really panicking this time. The other party's sword Qi seemed to have an indestructible power. Damn it. How did he have so many super trump cards? Lin Xian sneered. Not only did he use the Shura sword technique, he also used the power of the great dragon sword soul. It was impossible for the sacred angel to completely heal his body. Damn it. Run. Every single one of them could escape. The holy angel knew that they were finished this time. But as long as one of them could escape, if one person could escape and send the news to the patriarch, they would have completed some of their tasks. There were still over 20 hunters left. When they heard this, they fled frantically. The blood in their bodies burned. They wanted to escape at all costs. Stupid things. Do you think you can escape? Lin Xian snorted. He attacked the sacred angel. The hunters were overjoyed. No one cared about them. They increased their speed. The holy angel roared, and holy light began to burn on his body. He wanted to give the others more time. Boom! His wish was good, but he was beaten until he vomited blood. The demonic god seal descended from the sky like an ancient demon mountain, turning half of his body into a bloody mist. Then the demonic god finger split his head open. He roared crazily, but at this time a pair of godlike eyes appeared in the sky, causing his soul to suffer heavy damage. How could this be? Complete suppression. The other party was completely beating him. It was over. At this time, another angry roar came. The Hellfire Dragon sword carried an indestructible power. It turned into sword Qi that filled the sky. There were tens of millions of sword Qi, like a sea of swords, enveloping the sacred angel. The sacred angel was cut into a bloody mist, unable to revive. Was he dead? Yun Yue looked at this scene in disbelief. That was the sacred angel, the leader of the Destiny Adjudication. Now he was gone. Leader. The 20 hunters who escaped also felt this scene. They roared crazily, their eyes red. But no one dared to go back. They could only speed up and escape. Back to the patriarch. They had to go back and send a peak great sage to destroy the other party's soul. Chapter 5143. The rest of the hunters fled in different directions, coupled with the burning of their bloodline. Their speed was extremely fast. Even if the other party attacked together, they wouldn't be able to catch up to them. When Yunyu saw this scene, she exclaimed, "Not good, young master. It's over. Let's leave quickly. Otherwise, the family will send even more terrifying powerhouses. Maybe at that time, even a peak great sage would appear." She was really too worried. Lin Xian narrowed his eyes. In the next moment, the corners of his mouth curled up. Don't worry. None of them could escape. Forming a seal with his palms, the demon god wings appeared on his back. The black wings flapped and instantly disappeared. The demon god wings made the distance in a straight line extremely fast. Soon he caught up to one of the hunters. That hunter felt the sound of air being torn apart behind him and turned his head in puzzlement. When he saw Lin Xian, he was scared out of his wits. "Impossible!" He roared crazily. "How could you catch up to me?" However, what answered him was only a palm. Demon God Seal. He was beaten to the point where his soul was completely destroyed. The first one. Lin Xian grabbed the other party's storage ring and turned around to chase after him again. The second one, the third one. Gradually, those hunters who escaped fell one after another. When the last hunter saw Lin Xian, he was really in despair. No, he was slapped into a bloody mist. Even until his death, he couldn't believe how the other party could catch up to all of them. This kind of speed was beyond their understanding. When Lin Xian returned with 20 storage rings, Yunyu was also stunned. 20 top powerhouses burned their bloodlines and fled in different directions. But no one was able to escape. This speed was shocking. He looked at Lin Xian. At this moment, he treated the other party as a god. "Let's go." Lin Xian waved his hand and led everyone away. In the Destiny Twins clan, the Destiny clan leader was waiting anxiously. This time, after bringing the other party back, the extreme weapon would be theirs. He even suspected that the other party had the great emperor's ancient scripture on him. As long as they could learn it, their Destiny Twins clan would become even more terrifying. At that time, they could even compete with the emperor race. At this moment, the news spread out. "Clan leader, this is bad." The elders all started crying. When they arrived, they knelt on the ground. "What's going on?" The Fate clan leader's heart skipped a beat. What was going on? Stand up and speak. Those elders, however, knelt on the ground and roared crazily. Dead, they were all dead. Everyone from Fate Adjudication had died, and their soul jade tablets had all shattered. What? The Destiny clan leader went crazy upon hearing this. "What did you say? All dead? How was this possible?" He roared madly. He couldn't believe it. That was the judgment of fate. 80 top-tier experts, and a holy angel had actually fallen. Damn it, who is it? Was it that kid who did it? Impossible. Could it be that the Phoenix clan had secretly helped him? Most likely, he was the only one capable of destroying Fate Adjudicator. However, when another group of people returned, they brought back news that made the Fate clan leader despair. Previously, they had sent people to keep an eye on the Phoenix clan to see if there were any experts. If they did, they would quickly pass on the message. They would also send experts to intercept them. However, these people said that the Phoenix clan didn't send any experts. This made the Fate clan leader dumbfounded. If it wasn't the old Phoenix who did it, then who was it? Damn it. Could it be that there was an extremely terrifying existence behind Lin Wuti? He couldn't imagine. This time, the Fate clan leader sent out a supreme elder. This was a pinnacle great sage with terrifying strength. His appearance directly alarmed the entire Yuhan continent. Currently, there were no great emperors. A pinnacle great sage was the strongest existence. They could sweep through the 9 heavens. Now that such a person had appeared, countless people were terrified. What was the reason? Why did the Fate clan's pinnacle great sage appear? Oh heavens, were they going to kill Lin Wuti? Countless people were shocked. The Lei Dong clan and the Tianpeng clan also received the news. They frowned deeply. It shouldn't be. A pinnacle great sage was too terrifying and would definitely cause a commotion. Even if the Fate clan wanted to kill the other party, they should have sent Fate Adjudicator. Could it be that something happened to Fate Adjudicator? They began to investigate. When they learned that Fate Adjudicator and Fate Adjudicator had all fallen, everyone was stunned. They had seen that power before. It could sweep through everything. Even a great sage would die without a doubt. But now they had all fallen. Who was it? Was it Lin Wuti? Coupled with the impulse of a pinnacle great sage, they guessed that it was very likely that Lin Wuti had destroyed Fate Adjudicator. No way. Could it be that this Lin Wuti already had the strength of a great sage? I think he was even stronger. How was this possible? Even if he had the talent of a great emperor, it was impossible for him to be so terrifying. It seemed that there was an expert behind him who had made a move. Voices of discussion sounded one after another. When the Phoenix clan received the news, they were also shocked. The Phoenix clan leader, Feng Jiao, and the others narrowed their eyes. It seemed that even if this Lin Wuti was abandoned by an immortal, he still had some tricks up his sleeve. However, they didn't pay too much attention to it. Phoenix Mountain. The old Phoenix stood there and looked into the distance, filled with emotions. He had indeed broken through. A young supreme being had broken through to become a great sage. Was his strength so terrifying? It seemed that there was going to be a storm in Saint Origin Ancient City. The pinnacle great sage of the Fate clan swept through all directions, but they couldn't find any trace of Lin Xian at all. This made them so angry that they went crazy. This punch really hit the air and didn't cause any threat to the other party. And Saint Origin Ancient City still didn't know about this news. In their opinion, Lin Xian had already fallen in the heavenly punishment. At this moment, at the edge of the Yuhing continent, there was a huge ship flying quickly. Countless figures stood on the dragon ship, including Lin Xian and the others. When they came, Lin Xian and the others used the super teleportation array to leave. However, when they left, Lin Xian didn't use the Phoenix clan's teleportation array to deal with the fate judgment. So when they returned, they would leave by dragon ship. The sea between the Yuhun continent and the Yuguang continent was part of the Dragon Sea. It was very difficult to fly there. Only the Dragon Sea ship could be fast. On the way, the Crimson Dragon and the Toad were also on tenterhooks. The Dragon Sea was the family of Long Ao, and they were on the side of the Thousand Dragons court. If they were discovered, the powerhouses of the Dragon Sea's dragon clan would probably rush over in an instant. Lin Xian was very calm. He wasn't afraid of anything. Moreover, the Dragon Sea Lord definitely wouldn't have thought that he would sit on the Dragon Sea ship. The Dragon Sea ship was very big, like a huge dragon soaring above the sea. Its speed was even faster than a sage. This was specially made by the Dragon Sea. Of course, the boarding fee was also very high, enough to make a sage's heart ache. Those who could board the Dragon Sea weren't ordinary people. That's right, the Heavenly Peng race won't let this matter go, right? It turned out that the other party didn't know what was going to happen next. No wonder. Yun Yue heaved a sigh of relief. At this moment, a group of people walked over from afar. One of them walked over and said, "Fairy Yu, our young master has feelings for you." The physiques of these people were very strong. Just by standing there, they seemed to be able to suppress everything. "It's you." Yu Xinzi frowned. She said, "I don't have time. Go back and tell your young master to stop bothering me." The people in front didn't leave. Instead, their expressions darkened. "Our young master said that we must bring Fairy Yu over. Please don't make things difficult for us." "What if I don't?" Yu Xianzi snorted coldly. Those experts are emitting terrifying auras. Don't blame us for making a move. Even if we have to suppress you today, we'll make sure you bring her over." "How dare you?" Yu Xianzi shouted angrily. The people of the Moon Shadow clan were also furious. In fact, the young geniuses in the surroundings even snorted coldly. "You want to take Yu Xianzi away? You'll have to ask for our permission first. You're courting death." One of the experts waved his hand. It was as if an ancient mountain had swept out in all directions. Several young geniuses were sent flying. Their bones were broken, and they were bleeding profusely. The others were also in an uproar. "Who dares to make a move on the Dragon Sea boat? Do you want to die? Damn it, how dare you make a move?" The injured young geniuses roared crazily. They originally wanted to show off their strength in front of Yu Xianzi. They didn't expect to be in such a sorry state. "So what if we make a move?" Another expert walked out and threw out a punch. Several young geniuses were sent flying while vomiting blood. A man from the Moon Shadow clan frowned. "You've already broken the rules of the boat. Let's see what you're going to do. Who dares to cause trouble here?" As expected, the guards on the boat walked over and shouted coldly. However, when they saw the tall men, they smiled. "So it's our friends from the tyrants," the tall man said. "These people don't know what's good for them. Teach them a lesson. We're here to let Fairy you know." "Understood." The guards nodded and smiled. Then they looked at the young geniuses. "Behave, or we'll throw you into the Dragon Sea to feed the fish." "Why?" The young geniuses roared crazily. They were indignant. The other party was the one who broke the rules. "You're really stupid." A man walked over with his hands behind his back. His eyes were shining with a sharp light. He said loudly, "Because we're from the tyrants. Because our young master is good friends with the geniuses of the Dragon Sea. Do you understand now? Offending us is the same as offending the Dragon Sea clan." The young geniuses were so scared that they didn't dare to say anything. This boat belonged to the Dragon Sea clan. The others were also shocked. It seemed like they had kicked an iron plate. The tyrants snorted. "Since you know who we are, get lost." With an angry shout, the group of young geniuses around Fairy Yu retreated. No one dared to offend them. "Fairy Yu, come with us." The tall man snorted. The young geniuses from the tyrants who came from behind narrowed his eyes. These people should be Fairy Yu's friends. "Why don't we go together?" He stared at Yunyue and his eyes lit up. When he saw Murong Qingqing, he was so excited that he trembled. "We're really lucky this time. There are so many beauties. Please." The tyrants came to Fairy Yu and Yunyue's side. Some of them even walked towards Murong Qingqing. Yunyue was also angry, but she didn't dare to cause trouble now. She could only look at Lin Xian. Lin Xian's face also darkened. To be honest, he didn't intend to care about the previous incident. However, these people actually had their eyes on Murong Qingqing. That made him unhappy. He swirled the spirit wine in his hand and said calmly, "I'll give you 3 seconds to get lost. Disappear from my sight or bear the consequences." As soon as he said that, everyone on the deck was stunned. For a moment, the air became silent. No one dared to believe it. Who dares to challenge the tyrants? Chapter 5145. The people from the tyrants also frowned. Who was so reckless? They snorted coldly, and the void around them kept shattering. In the next moment, they stared at a figure. It was a young figure. "Kid, were you the one who said that just now?" Everyone else turned to look at Lin Xian and started discussing among themselves. "Who is this kid? He seems to have a powerful background. His aura doesn't seem like much. He's not even a great sage. How dare he challenge the tyrants? What a fool! He probably doesn't know how to spell the word death." Yu Xianzi's expression changed when she heard this. Although she was also very dissatisfied with the tyrants, she didn't dare to challenge them like this. Would this young man be able to withstand it? She asked softly, Yunyu, who is he? Yunyu smiled bitterly. She originally thought that she had to keep a low profile and not cause trouble. Who would have thought that Lin Xian didn't care about this at all? She looked at Yu Xianzi and said, he was a godlike figure. Yu Xianzi was stunned. Godlike figure? Was he that powerful? How did he compare to Flawless Bailey? Yunyu wanted to say something, but Overlord Sky Wolf walked over. He said coldly, Kid, kneel down and accept your death. I'll leave you with an intact corpse. Otherwise, I'll let you know what it means to be torn into pieces. He was really angry. Who was this kid? How dare he challenge their family? Who did he think he was? How dare he ask us to kneel down? Could he bear it? The Crimson Dragon snorted coldly. The Toad also sneered. You're the ones who don't know what's good for you. If you obediently kneel down in front of me now, I can spare your dog life. Countless people were in an uproar. This group of people was too reckless. A snake and a toad dared to challenge the tyrants? You're courting death. A tall man from the tyrants slapped out his palm and grabbed at the toad. Countless people exclaimed. This toad would probably be turned into a bloody mist in an instant. The void shattered, and a terrifying aura pierced in all directions. The toad was also angry. Damn, you're underestimating me, aren't you? Go to hell. He shot out poison that filled the sky and quickly retreated at the same time. His attack missed and landed in the air. However, the poison was able to fly over. The tall man retracted his hand, his face cold. His hands had already turned black and were trembling nonstop. He had been poisoned. No way he actually dodged it. He could even hurt the tyrants. This toad was not ordinary. Judging from its ugly appearance, could it be a strange beast of heaven and earth? Countless cries of surprise rang out. The toad turned its head and roared with its teeth clenched. Who dares to call me ugly? She had never seen such a handsome toad. Damn it, who is it that said that? Come out. I'll make that person's face bloom. The surrounding people felt their scalps go numb. They now knew that the toad's poison was very powerful. It could even hurt the tyrants. However, the tyrants were completely enraged. You actually dared to injure me? Looks like you really don't know what's good for you. The injured man punched again. This time, his other hand turned into a terrifying ray of light and shot towards the toad. The toad was furious and quickly dodged. The Crimson Dragon struck out with its claw and collided with the opponent's fist. An earth-shattering sound rang out. The Crimson Dragon retreated, its arm numb. Damn, he was so strong. The tyrants were not ordinary. The others were even more shocked. This snake was not ordinary either. It could actually compete with the tyrants in terms of physique. Who exactly are you? The tyrants gritted their teeth and asked. Two strange beasts of heaven and earth? The Crimson Dragon turned its head and said, Kid, these tyrants are quite strong. Do you want to compete with them in terms of physique? Lin Xian shook his head and said, I'm not interested. They are too weak. They can't even block my finger. The surrounding people were stunned. What did they just hear? Someone said that the tyrants were weak? Oh heavens, oh earth, are you joking? The tyrants were the legendary existence that possessed the tyrant body. They were famous for their physique in close combat and their immense strength. Now, someone actually dared to look down on the physique of the tyrants? He must be out of his mind. They looked carefully and were speechless when they realized that it was Lin Xian again. Why was it this kid again? The tyrants were also angry and stared at Lin Xian. How dare you say such arrogant words? I think you really want to die. At this moment, some of the geniuses at the side had already started to persuade her. Yu Xianzi, I think you should agree with the tyrants. That's right, Yu Xianzi. A wise man knows better than to fight when the odds are against him. Not to mention this kid. You will be implicated by him. Voices of discussion rang out one after another. Yu Xianzi also frowned. She really did not know where Lin Xian got the strength to say such words. She looked at Yunyu. However, Yunyu smiled bitterly and shook her head. To be honest, she was really not worried. She had already seen Lin Xian's strength. It would be difficult for these people to hurt Lin Xian. Yu Xianzi sighed and said, Yunyu, why don't we go and take a look? The tyrants are sincerely inviting us. Also, tell your friends not to fight with the tyrants. Yu Xianzi was obviously afraid. However, Yunyu shook her head. I know Sir's strength. This time, the tyrants must apologize. Otherwise, this matter will not end here. Yu Xianzi was stunned. What kind of joke was this? She said, This is not the territory of the Fate clan. This is the Dragon Sea. If you offend them, you will be buried in the sea. However, Yunyu shook her head. I can't make the decision for Sir. Yu Xianzi was stunned. No matter how she looked at it, Yunyu seemed to be the other party's follower. But how was this possible? She knew Yunyu's strength. She was the pride of the Fate clan and had a terrifying status. However, she was so afraid of this young man. Could it be that this young man had a powerful background? Overlord Sky Wolf snorted coldly. No matter who you are, we have the final say here. Men, come and take them away. Someone walked towards Murong Qingqing. Lin Xian's face darkened. He threw out the wine cup in his hand. The wine turned into a murderous arrow and pierced through the sky. One of the tyrants screamed and flew back. His body had been pierced by the sword energy. He was injured. Countless people were shocked. They could not believe that the person who was injured was from the tyrants. Was this young man really so powerful? Could he be a top-notch swordsman? Countless exclamations were heard. The members of the tyrants were also enraged. This time, 2 experts walked over and reached out to grab Lin Xian. Lin Xian shook his head and sighed. I've said it before. You can't even withstand 1 finger of mine. He flicked his finger and pointed in front of him. Devil's finger. With this point, heaven and earth shattered. The bodies of the 2 tyrants were torn apart. Then they turned into a bloody mist and drifted in the air. Everyone was stunned. They could not believe it. You're tuning in to the Thunder Spear YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.